Do you know, people really liked my hot dog story.
Yeah?
Yep.
That thing went crazy. I couldn't believe that I would get
It went internet viral within like 30 people that I know.
easy.
At least 30 or 40 people watched it.
Got infected.
No,
Yeah.
actually, it's a good story is my roommate Kyle, gay Kyle as he is referred to.
Why is he gay, Kyle?
There's a couple of different stories. Mine is one that shouldn't be mentioned on the show just because
We could come up with like 30 different scenarios of how what you walked into.
You could figure it out. But anyways, it's not gay. It doesn't have to do with him preferring the preference of men, which is cool if he does prefer the preference of men. But there's some stories that go behind that. But I digress. You have your story with the hot dog waving at the zoo and how you lost your job at the zoo.
Yep.
One of Kyle's regulars at work, I guess, listened to the episode for the first time. Doesn't know anything about drifting, and he said that he lost it at that part just because I think our show brings all sort of communities together, whether you like drifting, whether you just like hot dogs, whether you just like the zoo.
It brings all the boys to the yard.
That's not relevant.
God damn it.
Well, it's good to be back on the show, guys. I sure missed you both.
Where you been? Are you sure you missed
Oh,
us?
yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot you were gone last episode.
Yep. Went to Formula Drift, Texas, where dreams were born and destroyed. And then I went to Disneyland.
Where dreams are born and destroyed.
And then I went to Universal Studios in Harry Potter Land World. And that is also where dreams
can get totally
wet.
moist.
Yep. The wettest dreams ever. Universal Studios Hollywood. Come on down, kids.
Did you get your Expecto Patronum?
I don't know what that means. I'm not a nerd.
You're not a Harry Potter nerd?
What did you like better, Universal or Disney?
I'm gonna say Universal just because the rides are a little more mature. Like I went on the
like X-rated.
Yeah, I went on the 18+ ride for daddies only.
They're just a little bit more mature. So
I want to come on down to Universal Studios where the daddies get to have some fun. Nice. And see, like Disneyland is the rides for the kids, and Universal is the rides for the daddies.
That'd be cool.
They got the dirtiest ride this side.
An adult-rated theme park.
Yeah. So I also went to Medieval Times. Medieval Times is like where they do jousting indoors. That was probably maybe the highlight of the thing. And I was thinking, like all these shows are made for kids, right? Like, you should do a Game of Thrones style Medieval Times where there's like beheadings, not real ones, but let's dump out some tatas.
See, what I'm already thinking about, I'm going back to the adult mature
theme parks.
Theme park.
Yep.
What would some ride names be?
I'd say the Purple Nurple would be one of them.
Yep. The Log Jammer could still be one.
Still just called the Log Jammer?
Yep.
Okay.
You know how Disneyland has the Matterhorn mountain? Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's something can come up with that, like something horn on the mountain, something.
Matterhorny?
There you go, the Matterhorny.
I'd say...
no.
What about 20,000...
Do you know the Splash?
Splash Mountain. You can keep that the same too. That was pretty
much just the same name.
I'd say 20,000 dingers under the sea.
Yep. Let's see here. What other rides can you ride at the
flying
theme park?
Instead of the flying teacups, probably can have like the
flying B cups. That's actually pretty good.
The flying D cups.
Oh, all right. Paco's upgrading it.
Bigger. Might as well, right?
As Mr. Toad's Wild Ride can stay the same.
You got. I'm trying to think of one for bumper cars or bumpin' uglies. The dildozers.
The dildozers.
What's a dildozer?
It's basically an adult ride where you can drive Caterpillar tractors.
Okay. What makes it adult themed?
Yep.
Just because you have to be a 16-year-old to drive one or 18. Right. Okay, so you got to be properly licensed.
You know what's Corey's favorite?
It's OSHA certified.
Corey's favorite ride on the X-rated park?
No, tell me.
What is it, Paco?
The Small World.
I don't get it. Oh, no, you're talking about his dinger.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Okay. Cool.
What, you guys hung out with Mad Boy Dan Burkett.
Brockett.
Yeah, he's from Australia.
Dan Brocknet.
He's from New Zealand, Australia.
Yep. I saw that he was sitting in my fancy gentleman whiskey reading chair, and I don't know how much I like that.
Yeah. I wasn't here for that.
We were trying to do everything that could piss you off.
Well, you did.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm fine. I don't really care.
We were gonna put posters, like he brought us some nice posters from his events, and we were gonna put them like stapled into your paintings that you have.
My Bengal cat actually already destroyed one of the posters, so you're welcome, Dan.
Jesus.
Use it as a litter box.
Yep.
Well,
should we start the show?
Let's start the show. Do you want to do the introduction?
Sure.
Sam deserves it.
Hey, welcome to Maximum Driftcast, the only Driftcast show where all of us three original hosts are back together.
Aww.
You're a little rusty at it, but
for now,
I can see 2 more shows you can get back at it. You're still a little rusty still.
He's gonna be gone pretty soon.
Yeah.
Is it like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Where are you going in 2 weeks?
So I'm gonna miss Phoenix Pro-Am.
That's stupid.
Jesus.
Yep. Have
Probably
a
something super
wedding.
important.
Yep.
Yeah.
A wedding.
I know somebody who's missing Phoenix Prom too.
Corey?
I'll be there.
Wait, Corey, are you not driving?
I will not be.
What?
So, going through the rule book and talking to the staff at Formula D regarding my license.
Who was it? Which motherfucker was it?
Pretty much, probably
all of them.
3 or 4 of them that run the place.
They weren't pleased with your wild card attitude of just showing up and doing one event?
No, they were totally fine with it.
points?
They told me to. They said, yeah, please come on run.
And you said, no, I hate my sponsors. I don't want to go?
Nope. Because I'm looking at longevity and I'm looking at
durability,
and I'm looking at girth. So I'm looking at all these things, and the thing is, if the rules used to be you have your license for 2 years.
Yep.
Right. Well, now it's not that anymore.
Oh.
It's not 2 years. You have to stay active, and you have to. Well, let me see. Let me try to remember this. So basically, if you don't use your license, you can ask for an extension. If you use your license, that's considered using it, and you'd have to finish in the top 8 of points or top 32.
So because you're not using it this year,
I could use it for Phoenix, but then again,
if you drove like a dickhead and wrecked your car, then you'd never be back.
Then I'd never be back in. But if I save it and then ask for an extension,
do a full round next year. Since the car will be developed and done, it should be done by Phoenix. It will be done by Phoenix, but it would be developed, tested, ready to go. So I think it overall is probably the smartest thing I can do. Absolutely, that makes sense.
Thanks.
I was looking forward to shitting on you, but that actually makes more sense. So
yeah.
Thanks, Sam.
We could shit on you for being reasonable.
Thanks, guys.
And at a 18 plus Disney World, you just get shit on when you go through the gates.
What do they call that?
That's the German
Scheiße.
Scheitzer World.
It's a small Scheitzer world.
But on a good news.
On the good news.
On a good
news segment with Paco on the good news. Paco, what is the good news?
We are going to be Pro-Am.
I won't be.
Well, yeah. And we're going to be at Phoenix Pro-Am, and we're also going to be at Formula Drift Irwindale.
Yes, all 3 of us are going, and
we'll have a booth space.
We're going to have a booth at Phoenix Pro-Am, which I won't be there, so I don't really care. So you shouldn't either. But at Irwindale, we're going to have a booth, I believe, and we're not sure if we can sell cool merch yet. But we're going to beg people to let us do that maybe. But either way, we're going to be sitting at the booth at select times. One, if not multiple of us, should probably be there at most times. And we're going to do a show from there. And we're going to have maybe a spaghetti eating contest. I can't
wait for that. Yeah,
we're going to do autograph signings.
Autograph sign. You got a bowl of some sort of pasta treat. We'll bring it on over, kid.
We're going to do...
We're going to have our custom You Did It awards.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to hand out some awards this season to drivers that probably don't want them or don't care.
I got an idea. Just think of new awards. Sorry to interrupt, guys. We should do a fan favorite award and just come up with a postcard and have fans write random things on it and then give it to the driver.
That's a good one.
I don't understand.
So it's a fan favorite award.
Yep.
So basically we just get a plain white piece of cardboard or whatever it is.
Yep.
And fans can write on it all throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, we give it away. So
that's actually not. Yeah, so like let's say we say the fan favorite is June Mang.
Yeah, and so they can write.
Dear June.
Yeah, they can write to anybody.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like.
But it's all one driver.
Whoever's gonna get it is gonna get.
So they can write Dear Forrest.
Exactly.
And so it could go to Vaughn, but it's gonna have.
It's gonna have names
to the people
that
they really wanted to go to.
Well, I was thinking that.
So whoever has more names on it.
No, because then that's not as hot of an item to have for that individual. That we should come up ahead of time who the fan favorite is, like online or some shit. In a poll, maybe a secret poll.
Okay.
And then we have people write just to that person. And then at the end of the day, June Mang gets a card that's like.
And secret poll's another Reddit at Adult Disneyland.
Secret poll.
Where is the poll?
The secret poll, right?
Yes.
It's all dark in there, and then some person finds the poll. Oh boy!
This is like the best episode to present.
I think there's some fun awards we can give out.
Well, Paco, we already wrote some of them down.
And Paco's going to post a picture on Facebook later. If it gets 10 likes, 10 shares, he's going to streak across the middle of the track.
And we got to give a lot of free money.
In a Miata.
Yep.
Yes. But yeah, we have the prize of the off-roader, the best off-roader.
Yeah, the best off-roading of the year, which I don't know who's in contention for that.
Not necessarily the best of the year, or should we do the best of the year?
Oh no, it's kind of this is the season,
grand finale.
These are the season's awards.
Okay.
I forget what do we write down now. What are some of the?
Yeah, we had the best off-roader. We had like one that I called something like Irwindale or bust. So whoever like made all rounds by barely making it, like they had the most accidents, flat tires, trailer issues, whatever.
So you're saying number 32 in the points?
No, there's like drivers who made all the rounds and they're good in points, but they had a lot of problems, like a lot of traveling problems. Like people who like they just had like a lot of good stories while doing the drive.
I think one of them was the Pat Good Enough Award.
The Pat Good Enough
Award.
Okay, that's official now.
And maybe we should do one for.
How about the Vaughn Getting Good Award?
Vaughn Getting Good.
Somebody who's getting good.
Yeah, you're just getting good this year.
I'd say maybe the American that beat the most foreign drivers, and then vice versa. called the World War III Award.
The World War III Award. Let's do that one. Okay.
What else do we have? And if you hear this episode and you've got an idea for a really terrible award, please tell us because
put it on the comments.
We would like to see it. I thought we thought of some other good ones. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, well they're written down. I'm very bad at remembering.
Oh, there's the You Blew It Award, like where someone was like, I hate to say it, but Forsberg already gets that one probably.
Yeah.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But he's not. Bridesmaid, so this is a good segue to finally start talking about Form the Drift Texas because you recorded the Dan Butthart show before the event actually happened. Mm-hmm. So we haven't talked about Form the Drift Texas. So speaking of the You Blew It Award, Forsberg in the finals spun out, which has happened multiple times this year. Because he's a robot. He's the robot in his consistent driving.
He's programmed to
cannot commute.
Cannot commute.
Commute or compute.
He commutes on a bicycle all day long.
But he couldn't commute around the racetrack.
So
I think I read I think it was in Wrecked magazine, where they said that he haven't been in first place for like
2 years ish.
2 years, yeah, something like that.
But the thing is, right now he's in first place of points, and I think he is. Let's look this up.
It's still consistent. Do you remember when Golden Child won?
Tanner Mouse.
Moskowitz.
When he won, I think he only podiumed first once during the whole. He just like podium every single time.
Obviously, his points have shown that he's.
Well, fun fact. Also, Chris just beat the record for the most podiums.
Yep.
So. Even though he may not have won, he's still winning something.
So before we talk about, we'll do the event kind of backwards in order here. So going into Irwindale, we have 3-ish people in contention. We've got Forsberg has 503 points. Osbo has 467. Vaughn has 443. And then I don't think Odie will be number one, but he can do a chance for podium for
How many points?
417.
417. And Forsberg's at 507.
Yeah, 503. So 503. He is 36 points above.
So basically, Osbo, Vaughn, and Chris can't qualify. Odie needs to win.
Yeah, I think Joey said that in order for Osbo to win, Forsberg needs to like not make top 16 or something like that. If Odie wins first place, he needs like the top 3 to kind of like do something so they don't make enough points, and he could still.
It's unlikely that all 3 of those.
Yeah, so like,
but
mostly Forsberg not top 16, and I think Osbo like not making top 8 or something like that, and Odie still has.
These are once again. This is segment rough facts.
Yeah,
professionals.
Yeah, but then
we're not a news source.
Vaughn being 60 points behind Forsberg, essentially for him to win would be Forsberg like not qualifying and then or getting knocked out in 32, and then Vaughn winning like the event. Yep. We need an actual statistician in here. But yeah, so things were shaken up in Texas. Not really shaken up, but they were solidified that Vaughn got out early.
So could Forsberg win the world championship as well?
I think he's already more or less won it. Didn't we talk about that?
I don't remember.
I think he had it locked. Pretty much the world championship.
So he's going to win the world champion and
potentially the national champion and the championship of our hearts.
That's a lot of winning.
Yeah, that's not fair.
That's
not fair for not podiuming, getting first place.
Yeah, they should make a new rule that you have to get first place in
every round.
At least once.
Yeah. At least once, otherwise you're kicked off the team.
Yep.
I want to look at the actual battles because it's from Texas. So off the top of my head, the Stonebeck Osbo battles were some of the coolest I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think it was
Ryan Sagan said it was the best, probably
that
the
one.
Best battle of the
It's
years.
probably next to Forsberg on. Was that Forsberg on Wang? One of the
Yeah,
sorry,
the Jersey one.
Forsberg.
Forsberg, Wang, and Jersey's your favorite.
No,
Cool.
Forsberg and Alec Hanadel.
Oh, they've always
That was like a great battle, and this one's probably next to it.
Yeah. So I was on the grid for that because Vaughn had just gotten knocked out, so I was just getting my work done, and I'm standing next to Vaughn's pit still. He's still out there, and then Forsberg and Stonebeck are right next to us. And Vaughn is rooting for Stonebeck, of course, to beat Osbo because then Osbo has fewer points lead on him. Right. So we're all kind of, I was in the middle of this group rooting for our little man Stonebeck, not because he's just the underdog, but because he's also been throwing it down a little bit. And then after the first battle, seeing him one more time, Osbo was pretty nuts. And then I forget, the second battle could have been one more time, or it was about to be, but then Osbo carried it away barely.
Yeah, I think on the second run, Stonebeck was a little bit more wobbly, but on the first run, he was on the door all the time. It was pretty insane.
So looking at the start now from top 32, Vaughn had this guy, his nemesis, he keeps on going up against this year, Byron.
that guy is
Byron.
Yeah,
Byron.
That guy is like a consistent.
So yeah, in top 32, Vaughn keeps
somehow
on.
Sometimes he makes like 2 or 3 runs on the same.
Byron's a beast.
I think for the third time this year, Vaughn's gone up against Byron and beaten him, thankfully.
Byron has a pretty bad winning record.
Field, of course, won the event, which he took down some Titans. He took down Tanner Faust. He took down Vaughn. He took down Forrest. He took down Kristaps, who's an up-and-coming Titan. And then he took down Forsberg. So
the way I saw it is that Matt Field went against like all the biggest bosses from the whole game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if this were the video game of Formula Drift Texas, he went from
probably the strongest drivers all back to back. So it was pretty good. Good for Field.
So I didn't get to see a lot of top 32. Are there any other big ones? Oh, Chelsea. So Chelsea didn't show up with his car, so that's a big deal.
He was borrowing a car, which surprisingly wasn't the Retax S13.
I wish it was.
I thought that car has been burnt to the ground intentionally. There's too many. There's like 5 different drivers' farts just soaked into that seat.
Buried in the seat.
No, Chelsea, so I talked to him a little bit because maybe I did a driver-on-driver with him. Who's to say?
Oh, wow, that'd be funny if you did.
But he essentially couldn't get, or his team, someone couldn't get the motor. He was putting an LS into his BMW because his 4.5 cylinder.
He's tired of the BMW inline 6 reliability.
So I guess he just couldn't get that in time. So he borrowed not even a Pro 2 car, like a local Pro-Am exhibition car that was actually well built and stayed together. But when he went up against, or he's supposed to go against Odie in the top 32, he didn't want to drive because he realized that there's no way he could even keep up with him. So rather than potentially break this kid's car and or look like an ass or
that's why I see.
Yeah, because if you watched him out there, he was driving this car to its fullest, but it was not a Pro 1 car.
I thought I don't think they explained it on the live stream, so
it
seemed like he blew up the
in practice. No, in practice he hit a cone and blew off the radiator hose or something. So there was it looked like some crap went down with his motor, but he's able to fix that right away. But I think he just decided that rather than blowing up this kid's car, he would take it easy.
Yeah, it only made like 400 horsepower, 380.
Yeah, and he's looking surprisingly good out there. Do you remember Kaufman versus Essa? Did Kaufman do very well? Because Essa was driving pretty well that weekend.
Who advanced?
Essa.
Which surprisingly, because Kaufman's been a monster, and Essa has been not very consistent, but he definitely...
I want Essa to be back in the Camaro. I think he might have a shot.
You think he might have a shot back in the Camaro? Hanadel beat Turk in 16. Hanadel went almost all the way. That's right. Hanadel lost to Forsberg just barely, if I recall.
Hanadel finished third place overall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he also podiumed. Yeah.
How did him and Forsberg go? Do you guys recall?
Yeah, it was. They had it one more time.
Oh, that's right. Hanadel kept on trying to knock down his sponsor's sign. He flew into the midfield again. He flew off the track. So once in practice, he flew up and hit. Who's his tire sponsor?
Nexon.
Nexon, that's right. Yeah. So during practice, I believe he flew off and bashed into the Nexon sign, and then did almost the exact same off course in his battle against Forsberg, which is pretty.
It's probably gonna be a good contestant towards the off-road.
Yeah, I'd say that's actually. I think right now he's winning the off-road challenge
So
because he's driving so hard.
He mowed that.
Yeah, he's driving so hard that like when he's going off, he goes off in style and destroys those two off bumpers just a little bit.
Yeah, they were surprisingly they standed pretty good during the whole round.
They did stand it pretty good.
They did stand it pretty good. Oh no, I back to white. We got Osbo against Faruk. Top 32.
Osbone versus Faruqi.
Didn't they got like 2 one more times?
3.
Yeah, all of the one more times.
And Forsberg versus Mordaunt in 32. I didn't see that battle, but Mordaunt is we called him Forsberg Kryptonite.
Forsberg's Kryptonite. He lost to him.
Was that a close battle at all, or
it when Mordaunt was following, he was like right on the door, but then I think like after half the track when they transitioned, Forsberg kind of like left him behind.
Okay.
And then on his next run, just Forsberg was very consistent close to him, but it seemed like he was gonna be able to take him because he was so close during the whole first half.
And then we had Gooden versus Pollock. Unfortunately, Gooden knocked
That was
out.
like 2 or 3 one more times. Sorry for the on. Yeah, that was that one.
That was the one when they win. Actually, they won one more time twice.
Really?
Yeah, that was the last race. Everybody's like ready to just
hit the bleachers.
Yeah, because it was the last top 32 race.
Yeah.
And they went one more time twice. And Gooden was going good. But then, I don't know, like, it just seems like JTP kind of outrun him at the end. Like, I don't know. I mean,
I wish Pat would have won.
I'm sure he's happy about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, after all those one more times, I'm sure you can tell he was doing his best. And he was running fine, but...
At least he got good seat time.
All right, so now looking...
That what matters.
looking at 8...
top 16?
Well, I've been kind of going across top 16 and stuff. I don't know. Are there any notable top 16ers there?
Yeah,
Vaughn lost a field. That was... I mean, yeah, that's the big thing to talk about, I think. He over-rotated. I mean, that was pretty obvious, but...
Same spot he had the big one last year.
Yeah, I was going to say, though, the scary thing is that like it was at the same spot that he hit a wall last year, and I don't know.
Yeah, well, he qualified first.
Yep.
And he did a run that was just insane. That was the closest to the wall that everybody did.
So in practice, all my GoPro stuff on him, like he was just getting nowhere near the wall. It was tough to use that footage. Or it was unusable because it wasn't cool looking. And then, yeah, in qualifying, his first qualifying score, he like brushed the wall tighter than anyone else had. And you're not even really supposed to because like there's not even concrete.
A line.
There's not even concrete leading up all the way to the wall. But I think he did like just the perfect proximity to it. Yeah, so he overcame his fear of that wall in qualifying, obviously by his Q1 score. But then the next day,
well, you were saying that even Forsberg talked about it on one of the interviews that at night with all that smoke you can't really see anything.
But that wasn't at night though. That was
no, I know, but I mean,
yeah,
at night makes it even worse.
Oh yeah, at night they were all complaining about the fact that it was nearly impossible to see for like 60% of the track.
Yeah,
like you were just. If you look at any of the onboard camera stuff, like it's crazy how much they're just trusting the car in front of them going a certain speed.
Going into a wall and not being able to see it, that's got to be pretty interesting.
Pro 2 was that weekend too, guys.
I didn't watch it.
Did you watch it, Paco?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
My God, it was cringy.
Why?
Seriously, it was the worst round I've ever seen. It was like
worse than Atlanta.
Oh my God, dude! Like the thing about Atlanta is that for some reason, like the track itself seems to justify how hard it is, and it was also like the first round for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like okay, there's a lot of people.
Well, this
like
is a hard ass track though too.
But you're not coming down of a elevation change at crazy speed.
I think this track is more technical than Atlanta though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it in Atlanta just like more than technical, it just seems to be more like aggressive. You know, it's just like he's huge. And we were there for Grid Life, and we saw from top, like, it's just insane. Mm-hmm. But this round in Texas Pro 2, like, you would imagine that these guys are more already, more comfortable in their cars, more comfortable with the competitors. And it was, seriously, like, I saw, like, there's a race when one of the followers spawned, like, right on the first initiation, spawned right away. The leader just, it's like, okay, I got this. He keeps going, and then, like, by himself back there, he spins again. Like, he spins.
Yeah.
Like, so that a 0-0, It's like you just have to keep going and finish easily. Then there was another time that one guy got off the track.
Of him. One guy.
Yeah, one guy got off the track to one side, and the other one got out of the track on the other. Like they just like cross paths. It's like it was a shit show. Everybody was everywhere. There was dirt everywhere. It's taking forever to clean the track, and they had the little blower machine that couldn't really clean much.
I did notice that.
Yeah, it was bad. So overall, it was very, very like just weird. We were Chris and I were watching while working on his car, and it was just both shaking hands. Like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
So back to Pro.
And then, so I'm curious. I want to know why Pro 2 is considered that bad. I don't know.
I think it's like the first time where the drivers they have good cars. What's his Bitchum? He has a Mustang that's pretty nicely built. It looks good. They have a.
You say Bitchin?
Bitchum?
I don't know.
That's the last name. We have the Corvette, the C6, which is also built pretty good. But bunch of, I mean, like they seem like a lot of people are bringing like nice built cars with a shit ton of power, and that, and in my opinion, I might be wrong, but it seems like everybody's like trying to go with the formula of having a lot of horsepower without being ready for that kind of level. You know what I'm saying?
Corey doesn't want to talk about this. He's looking at Instagram.
I'm listening at the same time.
Yeah, force listen because he has the headphones on.
All right,
but you know what I'm saying? It's just like
yeah. Well,
that's what I think.
Well, I definitely want to talk to some Pro 2 drivers coming up in when the
Do you
off
think
season
they're
and all that
actually
stuff.
ready?
I don't know. That's the question that I want to find out.
Is it the new bug car? Like, is there?
Well,
are they still working
we
on
saw
the
that.
bugs?
We're seeing it with Alex Hilbrun.
Well, that's the reason why I'm not running. Is I know for Texas, my car would have been done a couple days before, and I'd probably be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like without a doubt. And same thing with Phoenix. I go out here and still try to develop the car, but why would I do that?
Yeah, I wonder if these guys are getting enough seat time, testing time, or if they're just like building these 1,000 horsepower
Well,
cars and like driving pretty much untested.
That's what I'm saying.
rounds.
Look at for example, look at Alex Hilbrun. He did pretty good. Alex
Alexis?
Yeah. Alex Hilbrun.
Alexandros.
He it's probably Alejandro. He did pretty good on his Pro 2 year.
Yeah, he dominated it.
And you've seen him Pro. He did okay.
Well, that's a well-developed car.
Exactly.
Tons
It's
of
a great
seat
car.
time.
Guy's
Great
good,
people working on it.
but it just seems like it's
Good team.
Yeah, but it just seems like it's going against the level of the rest of the pro drivers that was
Skill level,
Yeah,
not even car level.
so it's not that Alex is a bad driver or he's not ready. It's just like the level, like the competitive level on the pro drivers is way above than everybody. And that's where you notice it. Look at who else moved up from Pro 2 to these
Cameron Moore.
Cameron Moore. I mean, he had a couple like weird runs. He's doing good, I guess. But there was another one, right?
There was
Sushi Saki.
I don't think there's anyone else. That's it, probably. Let's talk about the rest of the event. There was Hannah Dillon Widet, which was one of the most depressing things seen after it because Mad Mike was clearly distressed about his
and his
broken
interview
car.
was pretty heartbreaking.
So I heard it was so I'm standing at the grid and I'm listening to this run, and then at the end of the run, drivers oftentimes floor it, just to get that final little smoke going out at the end and end it cool. But it's like after the starting line, and I still.
Okay. Is this really happening?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Hello, who interrupted my mad angry Michael story?
A dude with one name named Faruk.
Wow.
One name.
Wow.
Wow.
Wait, that's who it was. We were talking about drivers that went from Pro 2 to the Pro 1. And we got Cameron less is more. And we've got Alex Sideburns.
Yes.
Hild Burns.
And then we've got Faruk Kugay.
Faruk Kugay.
Now, Faruk, you've been called the roof. Have you ever also Faruked some floors or just ceilings? Don't laugh at it. You shouldn't laugh.
No laughing allowed. No. I mean, the name is hard to pronounce, and my last name is even harder to pronounce. So
how do you pronounce it?
My last name?
Yeah.
Give us your full name, please.
In like the right accent or in the American accent?
Let's do right accent then American, so we'll translate.
Yep.
Okay. Faruk Kugay.
Whoo.
That sounds like Paco's name.
Yep.
Is that I'll take that as a compliment.
Now, how do you say that in English?
The gringo name.
in English.
Charles Stevenson.
Roger.
Charles English. Yeah, no. No, it's Faruk. Faruk, and you can just say Kugay or Kugay.
Kugay.
I used to call you Faruk Kugay.
Oh,
That works too.
I prefer cool guy, but
I think Faruk sounds okay.
Faruk Koozies.
Yeah, that's what Jared's reverted to, just one name. I'm the Ronaldo of drifting at this point.
I was gonna say because
Yeah, that
that
works.
was exactly what I was thinking. Like Brazilian soccer, like all those guys they only
there you
have
go.
one name.
And then, so I'm half Turkish, and actually in Turkey, people put their first names on the jerseys, not their last names. So
Really?
it works
you
for
go.
us too.
that would be bad in America because it'd just be Matt, Kyle, Chris, Kyle,
Steve, Sam.
Steve. So what brings you to our wonderful podcast?
Three guys that are chatting about some drifting stuff.
Oh, cool. You
All
just
right,
want
perfect.
to get in on that?
You are at the right place.
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey,
Menage a trois is not enough. We got to get one more in here.
foursome. Yep. So before we talk about important things, let's talk about the most important things. What kind of rides would you like to see at an 18 plus Disneyland?
And by 18 plus,
21 plus 2, maybe
18 plus for the smoking section, the younger
we're
audience.
talking about almost like X-rated Disneyland.
Yeah, so we got Splash Mountain. We don't need to change the name
We
of
have
that.
Logjammer.
Got the Log Jam ride.
We have
the
you have
what was it,
Splash, Splash Zone.
Matterhorny.
What if we did like life-size beer pong, but like if you had
They already have
huge
that.
That's
red
like-
Dixie cups?
that's
no,
like,
check this out.
Well,
Check this
listen,
out.
okay.
Huge red Dixie cups, and you know how they have those inflatable balls you can actually put people into?
Dude, I've played.
What if you could?
okay,
What if
hold
you could fire people into Dixie cups?
That's a pretty good idea. I was gonna say because I've played with like a larger kickball size thing and some garbage cans, but you're talking much bigger.
I'm talking about bigger.
Now,
Let's
is
have
the-
people flying through the air.
Is the person inside the inflatable ball naked?
Just
I think that's a given, right?
Yeah, just
All
say
right,
yes.
cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
perfect.
And what do we call this?
Faruk Ball.
Okay, fair enough.
Farouk Ball.
All right, we've got that out of the way now. How's your season going, Faruk?
Hey, man.
Yeah, right. Depends on who you're talking to. This season's a lesson, man. This season's just a lesson, and it's tough. It's been a really probably one of the roughest years in my driving career, if you want to call it that. Or
I mean, this is the first year of your pro. You were doing it last year, of course.
Pro.
I don't know because
Yeah.
this is the first year in Pro 1 though, because you jumped up from Pro 2.
I did. So I've been driving for a long time, but not competing. I've just been, teaching, helping people out, doing other stuff. And when I moved back to the States about 3 years ago, I kind of got into my head that I wanted to go pro. I was like, that's my goal.
Were you living in Turkey?
I spent about 6 years living in Turkey, Poland, Denmark, London, back to Poland, just kind of all around Europe.
It's like
Judging, instructing.
Pretty big
having fun with it.
drift scene over there in Poland and where else you said?
Dude, the Polish are ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure it's ridiculous over there.
Yeah. So in 2007, I moved to Turkey, and I helped them start their drift scene out there.
Oh,
And they were, those guys are amazing. I mean, the level, they're getting better every year, but the community out there is just insane. They're just really good dudes, and they're big on the BMW turbos. It's just a cool scene. I mean, Poland, the Polish drivers are very similar to the Irish. A lot of European guys that I've looked up to over the years they're just vicious, man, as drivers.
Lovers. As lovers as well.
As lovers too, yeah. I'm sure you have a lot of experience with that, Sam.
Oh, you ripped on me. Damn.
Please keep going.
I keep thinking about
Go on, Corey.
turkey and Polish sausages.
All right, Corey wants to know about the sausages.
I love where Corey's mind's going with this. It's
Yeah.
a good time.
I just like every country's based off of food now.
Or every country has its own sausage.
Large pieces of meat. That's all you're
So
thinking
who
about.
would win in
Good
a
time.
battle, the turkey or the Polish sausage? All right, go ahead.
I'm just not going to answer that. I can't answer that, right?
Right. I'd
yeah.
save that for a later episode.
Yeah, let's not get all the facts out
I
there.
just don't know why. Sorry for the
21 over
interruption, but
Disneyland.
sorry. So yeah, go ahead.
So,
Sorry.
anyways, Corey's thinking about food. What's new? What's new with you?
What's new? I don't know, man. Just trying to get through the season, to be honest.
Yeah.
We've had a rough road. It's a lot of people don't really know what I'm about or what our whole program is, and it's the kind of the whole story is it's tiny. The car I'm driving is the car I started driving in Pro-Am, and it's it's haggard to say the least. And but it's done me well. Irwindale will be its last round. That's the last time I'll drive that car in competition. Well, you can't ever say it. But I'm hoping that it's the last time I ever drive that car in competition. I love that car. It's got me, it's got a lot of history, but it'll be fun to just drive it every week for fun and just have fun with it. So
let's start a long time ago
a long time ago.
You decided that you want to be a professional Pro 1 drifter. Why'd you do that?
Yeah. So 2003 or 4. So I grew up in San Francisco. I was born in Poland. I grew up in San Francisco. And I started drifting out here with a group called NCDA, the Northern California Drift Academy, back in 03, 04. And just like a grassroots scene out here. It was fun. I just kind of never really focused enough on the driving. Just had a lot of fun, and it was cool. But I think I should have probably spent a little bit more time concentrating on my car and my program. And I saw people jumping up to FD and doing all the big things, and I got kind of disheartened. And I moved over to Europe. And actually, when I first moved over to Europe, I kind of wanted to get away from drifting and just start something new.
Yeah.
And it sucked me back in, and met a group out there, a bunch of guys that, wanted to know. They were just starting off with drifting out there, and I started helping them out and showing them the little stuff I knew, and we grew together, and then started organizing events. I have a natural knack for organizing events.
Organizing. Go back with
organizing.
That one.
Yep. Is this some foreign thing? You and Paco can have a great conversation.
I heard Nacho.
Yeah. I got problems.
So you decided you were having fun with drifting, and then you decided that you had too much money and too much patience, that you had to...
You're filthy rich and just needed to blow it all.
Yeah, right? And then I just came back and just wanted to pursue a personal goal, after organizing events and teaching and instructing, and so it was, people want to drive, people want to get back in the seat and prove to themselves they can do it.
Which series do you compete on to get your license?
Golden Gate Drift up in Northern
Gate.
California. So
Nice.
I did Golden Gate Drift and I did Vegas Drift, but I missed a round of Vegas Drift because I was actually spotting for Kenny.
Nice.
Kenny
Moen.
Yeah,
Yep,
Kenny
cool.
Moen. So no, it was fun, man. Pro-Am was a blast. It was the Pro-Am scene in the States is awesome. The organizers are incredibly legit. We have Luke Crawl up here that does Golden Gate Drift. He's part of FD. He's one of their family. And then
Formula Dread for most people.
Formula Dread, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then Nick Dyson that runs Vegas Drift. Like, you go there and things are run really well.
Yeah. And both these guys work in Formula Drift Pro 1 series as well, so they get to see how that works, and then they come back to their own seed leagues and then use the same Formula Drift professionalism and make that work. And
on a side question to the Pro-Am stuff, where did you finish in points, and who was top 3 year you graduated Pro-Am?
In Golden Gate Drift, I was second. Cameron was first. Cameron Moore was first. And Crick Felipe was third, right behind me. And another local driver that came out of Sonoma Drift, one of the local scenes I help run right now. So it's 3 solid dudes, man. It was we all get along on a personal level and have fun. And the driving on track that year was pretty badass. It was fun.
So then you get your license for Pro 1.
Pro 2.
Then
Pro 2, sorry, excuse me. And
then I revamped my Pro-Am car, put a 2J in it rather than a 1J, bumped up the power from like 400 to 700, and I started a little bonfire, and then I just started throwing money in it.
We can relate.
Yeah, no, it was good, man. I mean, it's Pro 2 is rad. It teaches you. I mean, okay, so I started spotting in FD in like 13, I think, for Kenny. I did 13, 14 with Kenny. I did 15 with Kristaps.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it was I did 2 or 3 years with Kenny. I can't remember, but anyways, I mean, being in that scene and seeing like FD's a circus, man. If you like people that haven't ever been to an FD event, you got to go. Like it's like no other drift event.
We've never been.
Yeah, I mean, you feel like like an ant. You know what I mean? You feel like you don't matter at all, and it's kind of a cool feeling.
I always feel that way.
It reminds us of the story when Corey and Dan were to the first Formula Drift at Long Beach for the first time.
Oh, it was a mess.
And they were like back there in the corner.
Hey, when you he didn't run Pro. Never mind, because Pro 2 didn't run Long Beach, so.
No, this is my first year.
Corey, do you want to talk about your experience at Long Beach, Corey?
They had like the peasant parking, like for all the rookies.
Yeah.
So you know where
this is when they had to fit 60 drivers in the paddock, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you know where the car show usually is, like on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's like past the car show on the back side of that.
Yeah.
So all the rookies, you roll through the pits, you see Forsberg and Vaughn, you're like, oh my god, like
I've made it.
We've made it, and they're like, no, keep going back. So you drive across track, and you literally are next to the porta potties, and not even close to the track, but that was.
Well, that's convenient for you though, because of your regularity, I should say.
Yeah, I was always just locking myself in the blue outhouse,
the blue dungeon,
the blue dungeon, sweating some weight out, using it as a sauna. But yeah, it was definitely a different league.
So Faruk, in Pro 2, you did pretty well. Where'd you finish?
4th or 5th? 5th, maybe. I kind of screwed the pooch in Irwindale. I had a mechanical issue and just kind of can't blame things on mechanics. But I didn't do as well as I should have, could have, would have, whatever you want to say.
I was shooting some video for you there. You had a boost leak, if I recall.
Yeah. It sucks when you're running strong in practice and you think everything's great, and then you pull up to the line and it just goes to shit. But
yeah,
I mean, it's part of the game, you know.
Yeah,
that's what happens, and you can make as many excuses as you want, but in the end, you got to take the blame for it for not being prepared enough.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, there's only so much preparation you can do with the money you have and the time you can put into it. What are the other drivers who placed ahead of you?
Moore, obviously, he's in Pro 1. Helbrin killed it. Helbrin, a lot of people might not realize, but a lot of the drivers we're really close to each other, and we give tips, and like Moore and Helbrin are just they're good dudes, man. Like if you ever see them in the pits, everyone's super just friendly and open, and everyone likes having a beer after the competition together, and it's kind of a cool scene. You think that we all like hate each other, or there's some kind of like there's definitely people
I heard that Faruk is like a superstar. He just like walks
he's
around,
super arrogant,
people out of the way.
Yeah. Don't talk to him.
Don't talk to me.
Well, for the most part, I've seen almost every driver on the track will share information and share parts, and if one person with the 2J is blown, I think like Turk blew he blew like an actual camshaft or something weird happened in Seattle. And then he just ran around every pit. The guy that had a 2J, and if anyone has a camshaft, they'll give it to him. So I mean, that's
actually after my qualifying run in Seattle. The John from Nameless ran over, and they started ripping my head off to grab my cam.
Did they ask you first? Hopefully.
No, of course not. No, they just ran over and started taking it apart. They know the score. No, but they ended up finding a stock one and put that in instead. But it was no. I mean, the camaraderie in the pits is pretty cool, man. Everyone's pretty legit.
Nice.
So for my own information, because I'm probably about to put a 1J in my 240 with a blown SR, would you have gone straight to 2J as a guy that's just trying to make easy, cheap power?
Bless you, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, thinking back on it, the 2Js they're a little bit overpriced at the moment. But if you can find one, like if you can find a VBTI 2J for under $2,000, just hop on that.
Yeah.
I got my 1J. I had a VBTI 1J that. The reason I bought the VBTI 1J was because I found a standalone ECU super cheap, which sounds like a backwards way of doing it. But right. I knew that I have to tune it. I knew that tuning at that time I wasn't that familiar with like EcuMaster that I run now, and I knew that I needed a tune, so I found a cheap ECU, and I kind of bought the motor around the ECU, which seems backwards, but I knew that I needed one. So
well, a good engine management now is costs as much as a 1J or 2J.
Yeah, because the motors are fairly cheap, but
you have to consider that Sam is not even gonna do Prime. This
is for fun.
Sam's gonna do 2 events a year.
I'll tell you, man,
and making shitty videos.
Yep.
300 horsepower is a lot of power.
Yeah,
I drifted a single overhead S13 for 3-4 years, and dude, I mean, you step up to like 200 horsepower. When I moved to Turkey, I stepped up to an SR.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was there. I remember that feeling. And from KA to SR was rad for the 3 events at work before I blew it up.
Yeah.
so I could cheaply, I think, replace this SR at least a lot cheaper and less time than it would be to do a 1J. But I just feel like the reliability and having a little bit of torque would be nice too.
Well, what did your SR make before it blew up?
I never even got to the dyno, honestly.
That's probably why it blew up.
Well, I turned up the boost to like 11, and then it did supporting mods, and then this time I did like a turbo kit, a bigger turbo and all that. And the boost is still only at 14 or 15 psi, but then
without a tune.
No, it had a baseline tuned ECU by Injuku's people, and then I had just bought a Apex I Power FC that was supposed to go in before the event that I blew the motor, but I was like, I don't have time, I'll just do one event, and then I blew the motor. So
yeah. 1Js are fun, man. They're super rev happy. It's an easy 300-400 horsepower depending on if you put a bigger turbo.
That's all I want. I just want 300 to 400, take it easy, kill some tires.
That's a lot of power too, man. Like
take a nap.
300 to 400 for fun that's a lot of power. Like this whole like 700,000 horsepower thing.
Yep, Sam needs as much power as he can get.
Yep. Why is that, Corey?
It's a lot more fun drifting a car that's just enough power. Like I have fun days rather than just blowing the tires off all the time.
Yeah, I don't want to buy 8 sets of tires on a weekend. I want to get through 1 or 2 sets, you know.
Yeah, those days. Oh man, I miss those days.
How many sets did you go through this year?
You don't count, man. It's like rude to yourself to count.
Yeah. I was going to ask Sam the same question.
Zero.
Okay, so realistically,
the same amount as me.
We do about 20 times. Like I do probably less than most because we limit our practice because I can't afford that many tires. So 20 to 24 tires. But I know some of the pro guys go through like 30 plus tires.
Jeez.
So it's just, if the car's not running right, you don't run. If you fuck up one part of sorry, am I allowed to start?
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, fuck off, dude. Have fun.
Yeah, come on.
Fuck up shit. No, if you fuck up a run, you just lift because it doesn't make sense to waste the second half of the run and waste the tires because you can get another lap out of it. So sometimes, I know that like I look like fucking trash and garbage on some of my practice runs because I'm just figuring out the track. Yeah, thank you, buddy.
You put on a nice shirt and then you...
Exactly. Put a clip-on tie on.
Yeah.
Put a little clip-on tie on.
Yep.
But I'll do the entry and then part of the turn, and if I feel like my line's off or it's just it's a waste for me to finish the run.
What's funny is I've never known that about you doing that, but that makes total sense now. But I from just the imagery standpoint from like the stands, it's like, oh, here comes Faruk doing half a run because like I wonder how many people.
I wonder
how many people. I'm serious, like, and I know you as a dude, and I know you can drive when it comes to it. Like I even thought that like, oh, Faruk needs to get it together. He's only running like half the track, but then like I see you in competition, and you do pretty well in competition a lot of the times, like because you often qualify low, you get really tough positions against like Osbo in Texas, for example. But then you drove pretty freaking well against Osbo. So I wonder how many people out there see you and just think like that you can't finish a run, but they don't know that you're just trying to literally save money on your blown out shoestring budget. Anyways, observation.
No, thanks. No, in Texas it was funny too because we had a lot of problems in Texas, and it was a tough round, man. And with that run against Ospo, from the videos you can't really tell, but the car is completely fucked. Like it's pretty funny.
What happened to the car?
So when he transitioned behind me, he was, I'm honored that he like got on my door. That's pretty badass that he just like sucked up on me and like felt that he needs to battle me, that's honestly an honor.
Yeah.
And then when I transitioned back, I felt him hit me, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like, do I clutch and then spin? No, you can't do that." I know people do that in FD, and it's like,
yeah,
you got to finish it out. And so I've transitioned back, and when he hit me, it hit my water pump is in the back, like probably not an ideal place now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
And he hit the water pump, which killed all water
Cooling.
movement in
crap.
the whole system. And we got up to like 125 Celsius, which is
Not
in
too good.
what do you call them in Patriot units in
Freedom units?
freedom units.
Yep.
It's like 250, 260.
Yep.
So it's with the issues that we were having with the motor, it just it let go on number 6. So we lost compression number 6.
Danger to manifold.
Danger to manifold.
So
yeah, I feel so bad for Mike.
You never had your car.
So talk about Osbo. Talk about Osbo hitting you. Did he hit you because you fucked up and you were slow, or did he hit you because he was going too aggressive?
I don't know, man. Probably a little bit of both. I mean, I don't feel
Yeah.
like I fucked up, but I'm not in somebody else's car and knowing their speed right there, and knowing, I was trying to just be as balls out fast as possible and with as much angle and just go fucking nuts. Sorry for swearing, but
No, you can swear. Get wild.
yeah, I'm gonna keep apologizing about it because my mom hears this show.
If you decided to be a little bitch and spun when he hit you and like didn't try to save it, do you think you could have won the battle?
Maybe, but that's not like.
Yeah, it's not a consideration
okay,
for
so
you, which is cool.
This year is not for me about winning. It's about learning the game.
Yeah.
I know that sounds maybe a little bit more deep than needs to be.
No,
on
not at all.
Monday night.
Not at all. That's why we're talking to you, dude. Like, honestly, we're here. We're not talking to you because you're a fucking winner. Like, and I'm not saying you're.
Buddy. Thanks, Sam.
Yeah,
thanks, Sam.
What I'm saying
What
though
an
is,
asshole.
No, I mean that in the literal term. Like you haven't won an event and you've been knocked out in terms I think that you're not happy about a lot of the time. And I know you had talked to me in Seattle that you were like ready to quit and you didn't. And I think that that's an important part about your character and an important part about drifting and being a new guy. Because I'm sure, I don't know if you thought this, but at least I thought this for a while. And I'm sure a lot of starry-eyed kids get out there and think, all right, I get the license. All right, I build the car, I get my license, and then I'm in. And I'm
a champion.
I'm a friggin' champion.
It's
gonna be
shine all year.
and it's gonna be rad. And
there's naked chicks everywhere, and there's
bottles of
showering
champagne.
you.
Yeah, but I think it's important because I think that you are a damn good driver. You're obviously 22nd in Formula Drift right now, but you have been knocked out in 32. You've qualified, a lot.
And he's been top 16 a few times.
Yeah, you've been top 16. You've been 32.
A
But
little bit of luck there. I mean, to say the least. But
yeah, you've had
I
lucky
appreciate
runs.
the sentiment.
But it's I think it's
if anything, okay. So in all reality, we're a point in the lead for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
There's no reason I should be there. I mean,
I was about to say, do you think you deserve it? Not that I can say that anyone deserves it more, but I mean,
you look at Helbrin, who's 1 point behind me, and
Yeah.
he is. I mean, driver skill aside, he's got a great program. He's got an amazing team. He's a great dude. He's a great driver as well. But if us being in the lead is a testament to anything, it's just. I hope that some people can see this and through all the bullshit and through all the shit talking, just stick with what you love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know, man. The whole not giving up thing, and you get like, I don't know, go fucking hug a teddy bear or some shit. But it's about, just no one's gonna believe in you by yourself, and even when you don't believe in yourself, just keep fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And if my whole messed up, weird, crazy season teaches anybody anything, it's don't fucking give up.
Yeah.
Ever.
Absolutely.
Because I'm happy. I think you can tell me the specifics about it, I'm sure. But your darkest time this season, when was that? Was that after New Jersey? When did you feel shittiest and feel like you weren't going to do it again?
I mean, there's been a lot of times.
What's your favorite worst time?
my favorite worst time? My favorite worst time is probably Long Beach, man. Started off strong, right?
Yeah. How did it start off? I don't recall.
Wet?
Yeah, I had
yeah.
a pretty, in my personal life, I had a pretty heavy winter, just with stuff going on in my life. And so it was raining in Long Beach, which I've never seen before.
Yeah, it was wild.
And I was taking it super easy because there's, it's a new-ish whole thing to me, being in Pro 1 and just trying to kind of feel it out. And like I've said before, I try to just play strategy as far as my practicing goes so I don't bend the car. And it felt like it was drying up. First 2 corners were dry.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the second corner, It was nuts, man. It was like
Yeah. Well, that's the
it's
parking
like-
lot space.
It's like those memes like you see on Facebook where someone like puts olive oil down on like a supermarket floor. And it's
Yeah, and people dance
like,
across
some
it.
old 80-year-old dude just biffs it. That's what it felt like.
Well, that
And,
that track took this season's presumptive champion Forsberg. Like Forsberg hit a wall. When's the last time you saw that happen? Like that
yeah,
happened
on live news.
on the live news. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think everyone decided that that's because those parking spaces, 350 days out of the year, just soak up oil all day, and then the one time it pours all year.
And
in
there's
Long
2
Beach.
surface changes going from like asphalt
Yeah.
to concrete back to asphalt.
So yeah, but that sucks though. That started your Pro 1 career as that shit.
But you know what? That also showed like, okay, so I've got this saying that I don't know where I came up with or where I heard it, but it says, you know, without darkness you cannot see light, right?
Like that's
And one of
Yoda. Nope.
Yeah, right.
That's not Yoda.
It's Boba Fett.
Bubba.
I got the
Fett.
dude that's helping me out this year, Marcus Fry. He runs a shop up in Northern California. And, like he rebuilt. Like if you care to go on my Instagram, go ahead and you'll see like a before and after of the back end of my car, and they did that in like 3 hours. So
Yeah.
Ken and Howard and Marcus is like, dude, we just got some booze and just hung out, and they just completely finished the rear of the car, and it was like people were shocked. And mind you, this is with using no new fiberglass or bumpers.
Yeah.
I mean, my car is haggard as hell, but it still like kind of looked like a car. And what happened too was the return line on the fuel system got pinched, which gave us crazy high fuel pressure, which we didn't know at the time. So the car wouldn't drive unless it was at like 92% throttle or something like that.
Wow.
And so against Gucci, I was just 92% throttle the whole time and just playing with the clutch in order to make the traction work. But it was fun, man. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you learn from. And although that was like a super dark time, like it just showed me how the fucking rest of the season was going to be.
This is gonna be my life now.
Well, it's definitely eye-opening for a lot. I mean, like you're one of the drivers who actually experienced going through Pro 2. How many years you did Pro 2? Just one, right?
Yeah, I did one. So
And
I
you
did Pro-Am for like a year and one event because I did.
That's good.
And then I did Pro 2, and then I mean, so a lot of people last year told me like, okay, why are you stepping up to Pro 2, Pro 1? You didn't like win Pro 2, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, Pro 2 is a great way for drivers to learn how to run. But having spotted in Pro 1, I knew it was going to be completely different. And I knew that I would never learn what I needed to learn in Pro 1 from Pro 2.
Yeah.
The cars are insanely different in Pro 1.
And the
Where there's-
driving.
Your competitive level. Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, it's so daunting. You get there on Thursday morning, right? You just try to figure out because I fly in Thursday morning. Like I can't take an extra day off work, so I literally fly in Thursday morning. We bust ass to get to the track. We get yelled at by somebody because our shit's in the middle of nowhere, and we just run onto the track and we start practicing and just trying to start figuring stuff out. You're lined up, and the guy in front of you, any of those guys do a perfect qualifying run, what looks to be a perfect qualifying run, the first lap of the day. You're just like, dude, it's impressive, man. I mean, the level, everybody can, talk smack about FD or whatever. It's the highest level, bar none, in the world.
Oh yeah.
There are drivers that stand out around the world. I mean, I've been in enough places where I've seen those drivers that they're like the glimmer of light, but the level in FD is it's wild, man. Like seeing those guys run, it's I mean, without getting romantic, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. But it's a good example is Alex Gray won FD Japan, this last one, and in America, Andrew Gray. He won FD Japan. In America, he hasn't gotten past top 16 all season.
And he's like 32nd in points.
Yeah, he is 33rd in points. So,
And I mean, with FD2, it's a lot about like going back to this whole like strategy thing. Man, the only reason I've even made it that far in some of the rounds is because of saving the car. And okay, in Jersey, I drove horribly, comically bad, and it was partially intentional because I could not hit the wall. Like I went up to the wall and the suspension like settings, I was not figuring them out fast enough. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay 3 feet off the wall, or more 3 feet or more at times for sure. I'm gonna admit that off the wall. Because I don't feel safe up there, and I'm going to save that for competition.
Yeah, and those walls are like magnets. The closer you get, the more they pull you into it.
Yeah, it depends. Like Jersey sucks because it's essentially a cheese grater on the outside of that track. Orlando has an amazing wall where you can just put your bumper on it and just ride the whole wall. It's smooth as hell. Irwindale's kind of like that. Seattle's kind of like that, where it's a little bit smoother. But some of the walls, like, yeah, they're not friendly at all. Yeah.
So what was just getting more specific? What is your biggest difficulty in setting up your car to be in Pro 1 level?
Speed. Okay, so there's this whole thing like you got to keep up. You've got to keep up. You've got to keep up because, I mean, I'll give you an example. Like Vaughn, that guy's such an awesome dude. It's ridiculous. I can't say enough good things about that guy. And that his whole program and everything is, it's wild how crazy that car is and how far he's taken a drift car. In Atlanta, I lined up against him in practice, and he took off, and dude, you just start laughing because I'm full throttle with 700 horsepower, and the guy's like every shift he's got another 3 cars on you, and you're like, I might as well not I can just not be moving. It's still
the power band on that motor is absurd.
Yeah, and I mean also it goes down to driver too, and knowing how to modulate the throttle, put all that power to the ground, and it's one of the hardest things with setting up the car is learning how to win the drag race and then also keeping the car fast sideways. And it's that balance between building a drag car and then also a car that's super fast sideways. So, I mean, and also can ride up on a wall so it can float. Because for a while I was making the car too tight, meaning that it just wants to always dive in. And it was fast sideways. I mean, when you look at the car in Seattle versus Vaughn, I didn't really lose ground. I mean, once after initiation, I wasn't really losing much ground. But at the same time, he smoked me going up to the lineup. So it's
well, he's probably got the most developed car in FD, and you probably have one of the least developed. So there's that. And I mean, no offense by that. That's just a fact. I'm sure you would agree with.
It's the facts of life.
What does your car need right now? Do you have something that you need to be more competitive that you can't afford or can't get?
You mean by Irwindale?
I mean in general. Like let's forget about the season. Just how would you improve your car at this point?
That's a good question. So this is saying if I was to just keep my car and use it for another year. I mean torque is a big thing, man. I've got a really basic 1J that's been amazing.
2J?
It was built by. It's a 2J.
Yeah.
Did I say 1J?
Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thanks.
Double it.
No, it's a really simple 2J. I mean, it's high compression, but it's like this year it's like 11-to-1 compression actually. But it's a 3-liter. It's got super basic cams, 264s, awesome turbo that just spools really quickly. But I took off the nitrous because honestly, I don't know what the F I'm doing with nitrous. Like sometimes it'd be working. Like last year I ran nitrous, and sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work, and I just didn't have the know-how of how to keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Where the bottle would run out, and it was annoying.
Yeah, there's a whole other level of difficulty.
It's just another thing you got to think about, And if you've got people that know what they're doing with it, I know that it seems super basic, but keeping the bottle warm and keeping, knowing how much is in bottles, because a nitrous bottle is you only read it through pressure.
Right.
So in the middle of a run, it can start to waver, and that's a huge difference in feel with response. Because we used to spray between like 2,500 and I think like 3,600 just to spool the turbo. And then this year with the new turbo we have, we don't have to do that anymore because it was so responsive. But it's still that like low end is a little bit gone that was there with the nitrous. So
what turbo are you running? Sorry,
I'm running a 9174 Borg Warner. So it's the biggest one they make. Yeah, it's a good turbo. It's a really good turbo. But what would I do differently? I mean, I know what I'm building next year, if that helps you.
Can we talk about it?
Spill it. All the beans.
Lay it.
This would be the first place I'm talking about it, but yeah. I'm building a Beamer.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
What
chassis?
Yeah.
Man, now if I say it, I really have to.
You don't have to.
Right?
Well, yeah. Well, if you want to make yourself commit to it.
Just suck it up and say it, man, because it's going to force you to do it.
Man, here's the thing. You can start gaining new fans right now. We are like a multinational.
The European side of it. Look, Paco just is selling me right now.
Yeah, well, Chelsea DeNova fans are going to jump ship on the Faruk train here real fast.
Probably not going to happen, just to let you know.
Because he drove a Nissan, so he betrayed everyone that loves him.
Yeah, right now's a good time.
How about this? I'm just gonna say I'm gonna drive a Beamer.
Okay.
And then because let me just afford this chassis before I
Fine.
commit to it.
So you're talking about a 8 Series then?
E92.
No, 8
Yeah,
Series. He's
right.
gonna go 8 Series drift massive.
M8 tank.
You should go for the what's the
2017 M5, right? Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
What's
If-
the I the
if you do-
i3? That's a good
Oh,
one.
the i3. Yeah, that's a good Beamer.
The
i8,
dude.
No, the i3.
No, the 3. The
little tiny
one.
hatchback.
With the wood grain, with the all recycled material.
Yep.
There you
Have
go.
you been in one of those?
No, I haven't. Is it cool?
Yeah, it feels like an Ella Bean commercial or something.
It
It's
looks
wild.
it looks like a literal bag of dicks driving down the road. That is maybe the ugliest car I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty, the
like-
wheels are like 2.5 inches wide. They're pretty bad.
It's like they hired the designer of the PT Cruiser and
HHR.
and the
XD.
HHR and then the Pontiac
XD.
Aztec.
Hey,
And like the three of you guys
hey.
get in a room and take some mushrooms and just get weird, man. Have fun.
No,
Yeah.
so we're building a Beamer, and I'm putting a motor that I previously have not wanted to put into a car.
I don't know what that means. An LS?
One of Paco's Pontiac
the-
G8s.
LM6
One rotor.
3800
One rotor.
V6.
One rotor, yeah.
Yeah,
One rotor, triple turbo.
V-twin.
yeah, one rotor, triple turbo. There you go.
That'll be
No,
reliable.
Name of the game is reliability and torque.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we got to go that way. I don't know if it's unfortunate.
No,
but
I mean the results speak for themselves.
Yep.
yeah, I can't afford a 2J that I want. Let me put it that way.
Right.
With my program right now.
Got it.
Will I go back to 2J eventually? Maybe. I just at this point I can't. I just can't build the one that I want.
Yeah, you have to be
And,
you have to be smart. I mean, a lot of people think that professional drifting is all just like looking cool and having the best hair and then the nicest suit, but it's all about being able to run, consistently in a car that's not gonna break. That is going. I mean, pretty much you have to be smart, and that's the thing. If you're smart, like you have the smarts to build an SR20 that's gonna make it 150 horses consistently through the season, that's fine as long as you have the resources to do it. That's smart,
exactly.
But not everybody can do it,
Dave Briggs.
Are you shooting? I was gonna say you're about to shit on Dave Briggs right now. Is
No,
that
on
what's
the contrary.
Dave Briggs' program is amazing, and
Yeah.
the guy that built this SR, Ardo, that guy's legit.
Is that a MazWorks?
I think, it's. Sorry, you're right. It is built by Mazworks, I think, but then
So that's
Ardo
that's
that kind of maintains the whole program.
that's what I was going. Like it's if you have those resources, that's
Yeah.
smart for you. But
Yeah.
some people, it doesn't necessarily means that you have like, I have a shitty program. It's just like this
You
is
gotta be
what
realistic.
Yeah, this is what's smart for me, for my budget, and for my crew. Like it. You have to take all those things in consideration before jumping into the ring.
And if 50 or 60% of the field is running it, that might be a good indicator.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And I'll give with the chassis. I'll give you an example. I've got a perfect S14 in my garage, like literally run underneath me. I'm in my kitchen right now, and I can't use it. Last round I was talking to some sponsors, and they were like, "Yeah, we're just tired of old cars. We're just tired of them."
Yeah.
That's something we've discussed
And-
on the show pretty extensively. Is we all love the cool looking early BMWs and S13s and all that, but as far as growing the sport, we've got to start putting more new cars in there so we get factory sponsorships hopefully. And
that's one thing that I think people like. I don't know. It almost seems like people are kind of like against FD because of that, but actually I think it should be the opposite.
Yeah.
Because what this has brought forward is, I'm in Northern California, and there's the animal style guys up here, and they're kind of highlighting a scene that almost was never. It didn't see the spotlight until FD got this big. Where it's the fun crowd, man. Like
Yep.
it's about going out every Wednesday. We have Wednesday night drifting out here. It's going out every Wednesday or going out every Saturday or as much as you can, and just having fun with it. Not worrying about having a billion horsepower. Like if I could have 300 horsepower and just have fun with that and not go through a fucking set of tires every 2 laps, it'd be amazing. I'd love that.
We've been harping. We haven't harped on this for at least probably 5 episodes. But yeah, we would love to see every driver in a brand newish car in FD. But then we'd also love to see a league of KAS 13s where every pro driver just beats the fuck out of those around the track and like just the messiest, craziest tandem.
Dude, you brought up a great point. So when I ran a little drift school up here years back, and it was fun. And through that, we would like wet down the course and everything, and we were teaching people how to drift in automatic S13s and S14s. And that sounds horrible, but to a person that's never drifted before and learning donuts and figure of 8, it was a blast. They had a great time.
Yeah.
But check us out. So we had we had Kato teaching. We had actually Matt Field came out and taught once. We had Jason Bostrom. If you ever saw those guys drive a KA automatic on wet, you'd shit your pants, man. I mean, it shows how good of drivers they actually are. And I thought it'd be cool to always have like if you had a league, like a spec league, but you could only have KAs or only have like singlers or duals.
That's what we want.
You can only do coilovers, no angle, no suspension arms, nothing. You just gotta like simple, and just dude, pro drivers would jump in on that in a second. You could have like your scrubby drifter that barely can eat, that puts every bit of cash into his KA to make it run, competing against like pro guys, and it'd be badass.
Yeah. What if we got rid of practice, or not practice? What if we got rid of qualifying, and Friday is just battle of the KA battle royale, and then
in the wet.
Yeah, in the wet. So every driver brings an S13 with a KA. It has to weigh minimum like 2,000 pounds, and you can only do coilovers, brakes, and
basic roll cage.
Why brakes, bro? Why are you stopping with a K?
That's true. But then instead of doing like tandem battles, it's a battle royale where they put every car on the track at the same time and just keep on doing laps until the last one is out of tires or just brakes or God knows what.
See, here's the thing: is every time people talk about this, like going back to the basics, it's cool and all, but honestly, Faruk, I don't know what's cooler than flying down and landing an 800 horsepower car.
Yeah, a rated car.
Oh no, like don't get me wrong.
We want it both. We want it all.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Is that like one does not make the other bad.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the biggest misconception. Is that if you have 8 guys going out there with like super slam cars where the suspension doesn't work, that's badass. But then as is Vaughn and Chris's 1,000 billion horsepower rocket ship. Like those are both totally different types of cool.
Yep.
And they don't compete against each other. That's the misconception.
Yeah, that's
like
the
minute my car is retired from FD, I'm turning down the boost, taking out every bit of grip it has, and driving every week. That's my plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like a lot of people has this bad idea that just because Formula Drift is doing 1,000 horsepower cars, like they ruin drifting.
That's cool in its own way.
It's like how is that
cool.
how is that ruining drifting? Like
making drifting better.
Yeah, nobody's taking drifting away from you, people.
You can still drive your shitty
your car, and there's gonna be events for everybody, and it's still gonna be fun. And one of the things is like a couple local friends are organizing a new little spec series here in Phoenix, where they only allow E36 and E46 BMWs. With no
drifting
more
or track racing?
No, drifting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're about to I think they only have like 6 cars. Like the only thing they want is roll cage, coilovers, and I think no more than 250 horsepower and a certain tire. And I think they only have like 6 cars. They're about to start like getting more people involved in it, and I'm sure like if that starts becoming a thing, it's gonna be fun, because imagine how fun it will be to watching. For example, Forsberg, Vaughn, Osbo, and Faruk in the exact same car. Everything can happen.
Yep. No, exactly. And I mean, going back to what Corey said, that doesn't take away from how awesome it is. Okay, when you're at the wall in, for instance, like Orlando or Seattle, and you're standing close to that main bank, and you see a car fly at the bank at close to 100 miles an hour, it's
insane,
bonkers.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. And even it's where were we watching? Was it the last round? I think it was in Seattle where I was sitting with a buddy and we were talking about where inside the car it's a different experience, watching the car it's a different experience, like watching live is a different experience, and then watching live stream. Like all three are totally awesome.
Yeah.
They show you different things about this amazing sport, and it's I mean, pro drifting, it's like top fuel, man.
Yep.
It's wild, the amount of engineering and just setup that goes into it. It's pretty mind blowing.
So it's cool to hear though that you saying you're going to build a BMW. That means you're coming back. This season didn't kick your ass so hard that you're going to not do it.
No,
It's got a better benchmark to compare what you're going to need for next year, huh?
So look, I don't come from a racing family. Both my parents do something completely different, and they, the fact that I'm racing makes no sense to anybody that I'm around, or myself at times.
Yeah.
But when will I stop? Right. That's people joke about it. When are you going to quit?
No, I mean that's not the question. It's just a lot of
But it is
people have
also-
1 to 2 years in FD, and especially if they get their ass kicked all season and they have car problems and nothing goes their way, they quit because it costs a lot of money.
So I'll put it like this: like in Pro-Am, I felt that I couldn't lose unless there was something wrong with the car. Like that's what I honestly felt. Whether that's crazy like dude ego or whether that's actual reality, that's a whole nother conversation. But that's what I felt. In Pro 2, I felt I was driving maybe 7/10, 8/10 of my ability. In Pro 1, I feel like I've been driving 2 to 3/10 of my ability. So I've got a lot of room to grow. And until I get to the point where I'm like 10/10 of my ability, and I'm driving my ass off, and I feel that I can't keep up, and I'm not winning.
Yeah.
If I get to that point where I'm like I'm spent, like I'm doing as good as I can, and I can't do any better, then I'll quit.
Right.
But I that's a personal thing. Like I'm not doing this for anybody, but to prove to myself and hopefully the people that also want to like just do something. You know, like I don't come from. We don't have to go into that, but I'm not I'm not privileged.
Yeah,
you know
I understand.
Like, and I just pay for everything and just work my ass off with a bunch of jobs, and it's that's how it goes, man.
Well, that was my next question is sponsors, because I've heard other people in the upper end of Pro 2 and even some Pro 1 drivers at the lower end of the spectrum bitching, rightfully bitching that they can't find any money anywhere. What are you finding? Obviously, you said you're paying out of pocket 3 jobs or whatever to afford a lot of this, but how do you feel about the sponsorship hunt at your level?
Okay, I'll be like sponsorship hunts is only about how much effort you put into it. If you're creative with how you're finding sponsors, and if people aren't just going to throw money at you for no reason.
Right.
You've got to put yourself out there and make yourself a marketable item. Like I work in marketing. That's what I do. Am I a marketable item right now? I can clearly say no, not as much as I could be.
Yeah.
People are helping me out already, and I try to represent them as well as possible. And we've got great relationships going, and I promote their products as well as I can. Because the people that are on my car and are in my car are badass. They're cool dudes and cool companies.
Right.
They make great parts. But that's more of kind of like a grassroots level of marketing. Am I a Vaughn or a Turek where I've got my own TV show and like millions and millions of people see my name? No, not by any means. Why the hell would AutoZone sponsor me?
Yeah.
That would not make any sense.
We've got 1 year instead of 12 to 14 years, so you've got a way to grow, I guess.
But
I definitely do. And it's
at the same time, these guys have been doing this for 10 plus years.
That's what I just fucking said, Paco.
Come on, Paco.
Fuck you, Paco.
Like if somebody bitches about not having sponsors, they're not putting enough effort in.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah, it's just something that I've heard more and more is people. Not that there's anything to be done for it. It's just it's just people bitching that all the sponsors are taken by the top 10 guys, and we want some of them sponsors' monies. But yeah.
Well, that's what a lot of I don't know if you get this often, Faruk, but I get every now and then is you'll probably get messages from fans asking how to get sponsorships and things like that. Do you get that often?
Yeah, I do.
And that's the thing. And do you know what my response is to them? Is I tell them as soon as you could develop let me see how I can say this.
Develop yourself as a product.
Well, develop yourself as a product, but as soon as you can put yourself against Vaughn and offer the same type of package you can for Vaughn, you're not going to get Vaughn sponsors. Yeah. So figure out how you can.
Corey, I'm going to agree and disagree with you. Sorry for cutting you off.
No,
so
do it.
Vaughn
and that was I wasn't completely done with that, but go ahead.
Okay, keep going.
No. So that's the thing,
because
a lot of people say, "What does it take to become a pro driver?" Well, there's sponsorships obviously on all levels. Well, people are like, "How can I be like Chris Forsberg or Vaughn?" Well, it's like as soon as you can travel the world, put a program together that allows you to do that. Do the promotion and marketing, so at the end of the year you can hand them a book of events that you've done and what their return on investment is. There's so many different levels of sponsorship. If you want to be a pro and you want to make money, it's going to take a lot of work. But then there's obviously the product. Hey man, I need a set of lugs, or I need some. Sure, that's a totally different level. There's just so many different levels. But when somebody asks me what they want to do, become a pro driver like Vaughn, it's a lot of fucking work.
Okay. Vaughn is extremely hardworking, and that's a whole nother you can talk about that for an hour. But one thing I'm going to disagree with you on is it being so cut and dry, where you're looking at Vaughn as a branding item, right? But if you look at somebody like Chelsea, or if you look at somebody that's kind of is smaller, they get so creative with the way that they brand themselves and the way that they connect with.
I do agree with that
companies and
100%. I agree with that.
And so when you're looking at somebody like me, right? How the hell do I become a Vaughn, right? I mean, not that I want to become that person, but how do I become that marketing item, right?
Well, you're doing
That's not
it.
going to happen.
But you are doing it. You're changing platforms, which would bring in a whole different demographic of people that will be interested in you. You're going to be already more easily represented by the sponsors because you're driving a newer chassis. You could do so much with that. So I think that's a start. Now from there, it's all depending on what you do.
But Vaughn and I are very different people, and like he's been in the sport a lot longer, and he's got a lot more pedigree, so to speak. And the people that I'm going to relate to are people that can kind of relate to my story. Simple as that, you know.
And not only that, you have a bunch of European fans too. You can also sell them, which Vaughn can't sell to.
Yeah, but you're going into the branding again, man.
It's different identities, different across the ocean. It's tough to bridge.
It's
sponsors.
more. It's you're still talking about branding, and you're talking about like. Okay, I'll give you an example. I've got a couple local guys that drift in Sonoma Drift, which I manage, and they've got sponsors through their local companies because they're relating to a local restaurant that supports them, and they're doing that they help each other where they're when people are in that hometown and they're thinking about a place to go to lunch, they're going to go to that cafe because it's relatable. You know what I mean? And it's you got to think about all levels.
Well, let me ask you this then: why can't you be a Vaughn?
Why can't I be a Vaughn?
Yeah.
Interesting. I think a lot of those positions are already taken in the eyes of sponsors in our market. I think I have to create a new image within our market. That's speaking from like completely a marketing standpoint, but I got to do something different. So whether it's showing what's in my car and relating people to it, or
do a bunch of burnout videos.
But you can be.
Faruk,
you can be. I don't want you to get stubborn and say you can't be because you can.
Here's
be.
why
That's
you can't be though, because
Yeah,
if you don't remember that one time when he was a kid and he broke his arm falling out of that tree, and now each time he tries to do a windmill, it just pops right out.
So you can't do any
So
breakdancing
anytime he tries
tricks.
to do a windmill with his hands, it just pops right out.
No, but actually, all joking aside, and with the whole burnout, I mean, I start as a joke, but actually, I mean it. You just are featured on a Donut Media video.
That was a personal Jesse Wood thing, I think.
I think it's a Jesse thing. That's
It's Jesse?
Yeah,
okay. I thought. Anyways, I mean, it was just a very simple little burnout thingy, or slow motion. Looks beautiful. That's nice little quick content, and that little video looks good. And it says do a burnout, Faruk. That's a good start.
Well, the other thing too, Faruk, you were saying, you want to show people that you can do it. You're doing FD because you want to show people it's possible. It is possible to be a Vaughn. Because at the end of the day, I do want to be a Vaughn. I want to be in a Vaughn's position. Because think about it, you're doing everything that you dream to do. So if I got into the sport knowing that I couldn't get to that level, that would kind of turn me away from it. That's for me. It's a motivation.
And that's what I was going. I mean, it's like little content that looks good. That is not presumptuous. How do you say that?
Yeah,
pretentious. Yeah, it's not pretentious. I was like, oh, hello, I'm Faruk. I'm the best driver from the north. It's not.
First of all, Vaughn doesn't say that either. But.
No, I'm not saying that. That's Vaughn.
That's more of a Conrad Grunwald video.
Oh God.
No, but like a lot of new drivers try to come up like hotter than what they are, and like trying to pretend, I'm gonna be the newest hot shit, and they make videos where like they're trying to.
I feel like I haven't seen that. Really.
I've seen some.
We could say it this way. Where rather than becoming Vaughn, becoming a Vaughn. You might be right with that. Like where it's not like you don't want to be him exactly.
Yeah. No.
No, you want to become Faruk.
You want to be a Faruk.
You want to be the Faruk.
Yeah. You want your next generation drivers to be, I want to be a Faruk.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And I think it is possible. I believe if you can work for it and understand how the business works, it's doable.
You remember Asbo 3-4 years ago
with the Supra. Yeah. And Faruk probably knew Asbo before he even drove out here.
Yeah.
Did you?
I mean, he has the advantage that
he looks. Back.
Fuck you, he has the advantage that he looks like a freaking Greek god.
Asbo? What are you saying? Faruk doesn't look like a Greek god?
Taco's fantasies are coming out.
Actually, Faruk does look Greek.
He looks Polish.
He looks like a turkey.
Oh.
He's talking about Osmo now.
Yeah, but right now we're comparing your looks to Osbo. Who do you think?
What What is Paco, by the way? I mean, what is Paco? Jesus Christ.
What is
Paco?
New segment with
It's a very
Faruk.
annoying dude.
Paco is kind of Spanish Mexican guy.
Colombian.
Hola, Faruk.
I think he kind of
Hold
looks
on.
like a
hybrid.
He kind of looks like Neil Patrick Harris got hit with a baseball bat.
5-6 times the head.
Yep.
Also very gay.
No, I wasn't saying that, Paco.
Oh,
But you
thanks.
fill in the blanks you need to.
He reminds me of old school Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
That was I used to work at a hospital when I was like 15.
If you could picture, you remember Hugh Jackman's Wolverine?
But on PCP.
But take that. But
and a
take,
little chubbier.
but take it like PCP minus. I like where you're going with that.
I don't know about you guys, but the beers are kicking in. So yeah, okay.
Okay, good.
I sent you a friend request on Facebook and told me that you're way too popular to accept more friend
Yeah.
requests.
You've got
So
maximum friend requests on Facebook, Faruk?
Maximum friend request, new segment.
Yeah.
That right there
Yeah.
already tells me that you're on the road to success.
Hell yeah, man.
Not to
good.
mention, you are a guest on Maximum Driftcast.
Yeah.
We guarantee
No, hey,
at
honestly,
least
hey,
10 new
you guys are
sponsors
doing-
after a show.
I've talked to Sam about this. You guys are doing good stuff. Like
Thanks,
this,
man.
I mean,
Thanks, man.
you guys could probably use a little bit more technical help. Like, I think you guys should get.
Do you want to sponsor us with some money?
That's why all our new segments are.
No,
Our
not like
guest
that.
is
dude.
by.
The sound is fantastic, but like talking to, I mean, it'd be cool if you guys talk to some engineers. And
Oh,
just
we're going
maybe,
to
like,
off season. We got to make the show exist for the 6 months that drifting doesn't exist, or however long
Yeah,
it is.
for sure.
So
And we got to talk to Ardo Weisfab too.
You do.
He's the scientist behind the chaos and angle NFD. I blame him
yeah, he's.
in a
Yeah.
great way.
I don't know
So
the man, but
Ardo-
I do know that he's up to the game and what the sport
So
is
there's
now.
two dudes at Weisfab. There's Ardo and Risto, and Risto is the mad scientist, and Ardo is the brains behind how it all happened, pretty much, and how it got so popular. Yeah, they. I guess I should say what I do, right, with Weisfab.
There you go.
I run their U.S. operations. I guess I'm their
look at
U.S.
that.
manager.
Oh, cool.
Ah.
Where is it based out of? I thought it was U.S. I didn't even know.
No, it's Estonian. So it's a small little company out of a country that nobody knows in Europe. But yeah, no, they're good dudes, man. They're, I mean, Risto, the chief. So it's two guys that run the company. It's Risto and Ardo. And Risto, he was a suspension engineer at ALMS and all kinds of other kind of crazy racing organizations. And they came up with this idea to just kind of do the best suspension possible, and in their mind, obviously.
Yep.
And I mean, it shows how quickly it kind of caught on and how people have been doing a lot better with their stuff on it. And it's an idea to, not necessarily compromise, just try to do as good as you can.
Yeah.
And just be the best.
You're a good
So,
person to talk about the angle wars. How did that start? And this is for everyone else here because I know least of all, I'm sure.
Well, do you know what fun fact about Weisfab for me, Faruk? I would say in 2012 or 13, I saw the first Weisfab kit on the E30 and I was blown away by it. It was actually the red one.
Oh yeah, that oldie, yeah.
So I saw that and I emailed Weisfab like 2013-ish asking, hey guys, I'm looking to get in Formula Drift.
My name is
Can I get a
Corey."
Nissan 350Z kit? And I can't remember. I was just trying to look for the original email, but I got a response back saying, not in development yet.
Yeah, fuck off, Corey.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was my first time because I remember seeing the E30 and I was blown away by the amount of angle.
So is this forward thinking though on their part? Like no other angle existed like this, or did it exist but it just wasn't tuned correctly for a car? Like I have no idea how the angle wars began. And did Weisfab make the first big move, or did they just refine it?
I think they just refine it. I mean, you have other companies that have been making, angle kits, but with using the stock kinematics, which means like using essentially a version of the stock suspension. So they were just kind of modifying it here and there. And what Weisfab did was they essentially took the pickup points and said, okay, how do we make this the best in our minds? You know what I mean? Like how do we do the best job with what we're given from the car, not with modifying what the car gives us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Rather than
because I have chopped up knuckles on my car right now. What makes it better than that, other than durability?
Well, okay. So this is where you get into better and not. I wouldn't use better. It's just a different thing. You know what I mean? Where if you're okay, let's start with this. If it's your first day drifting, don't. I mean,
Yeah, don't have Weisfab.
Yeah, exactly. Ardo's probably going to kill me for this, but I'm going to recommend you.
Farouk, I would, and I'm going to keep selling it.
No, you should. But, okay, if it's your first day drifting, you don't need YSAB.
Especially if you have super low power. If you have a stock KA first day drifting, YSAB probably ain't going to help you.
No, it's not going to help you. It's actually going to deter you because you're not going to learn the balance of the car. But the thing is, when you're trying to push more and get more out of your, like, everybody hits a wall in driving, and it's usually car limited. I got to the point 10 years ago where I was driving a single overhead KA, and people were like, okay, bro, it's time to get more power, and
yeah.
Everybody gets to that point where start with something, and then as you build, increase it. And I mean, without sounding too arrogant, when you want to get competitive, put YSAB in your car. But until you get to that point, it's a proven setup, and that's kind of what it was designed for, was to not necessarily win, but to drive to the maximum limits which your car can drive at.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it doesn't matter if you're not a good driver. YSAB is not gonna help you be a better driver. You have to be you have to be good already, which a lot of people don't get.
No, yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you just chop your knuckles to the point where you get like crazy angle and your wheel's not hitting anything, you're gonna be able to save spinning. But the thing about YSAB is it re-engineers all the suspension where you can be fast as hell sideways. You look at Mad Mike at the front end of his car. I mean, the YSAB works amazingly on that car, and it's insanely fast, that car, sideways, and as are most YSAB cars. You look at what happened to Gucci when he switched to our stuff.
He even said pretty much on our show that it was because of YSAB that he drove better.
And with all that being said, that's what made me want to pick up and purchase my most recent YSAB investment.
Corey's coming out.
So that's the thing is, if you want to compete at that level, you have to do what is competitive.
So I'm not in any way endorsed or sponsored by YSAB. Why? What makes it? I'm not saying it is or not. What makes it better than like a Parts Shop Max or a whatever else out there?
No, it's not worth the compare, man. I mean, I'm not saying. No.
I know what you're saying, Farouk. No, I'm with you.
You don't want to start a battle, is what you're saying?
It's a different level.
From a customer standpoint, just look at what both people offer and then make a decision. I'm not going to. And the same thing exists with BMWs. There's competitors. Just look at both products, do your research, find drivers that you like how they drive, and make a decision. It's not. Yeah. It's not. I'm not going to.
I was looking for you to throw some dirt at the other company, but if you're not going to,
that's not how we run. And it's you look at YSAB also is now transitioning into track racing a lot.
Yeah.
We have a GTR kit, and now we have the fastest GTR in the world, the Life GTR, which is LYFE.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They just beat the HKS GTR, and it's now the fastest GTR in the world. And all the suspension is done by YSAB, which sounds wild that we're not drifting, but we just built an Evo 8 kit, a 789 kit, and the company just wants to keep doing cool, awesome stuff and excelling. Not only, it's not about comparing. It's about just let's be as good as we can be, and then let's worry about let the other people worry about themselves. You know what I mean? Like to do this whole battle thing, it's just not going to get anybody. Let them do as good as they can do. We'll do as good as we can do, and we'll all have a happy life.
Why does a grip car need not necessarily an angle kit, but you're just putting on stronger knuckles up front, or does it actually give these grip cars more angle?
No, it doesn't give them more angle. It just re-engineers the suspension to work better. Okay. So a lot of stock suspension doesn't function as well as it could for grip for drivability reasons or for whatever reasons, cost reasons. There's a bunch of different reasons that OEM suspension can be like it is, and we re-engineer it to make it work better.
Yep.
Or not we, the engineers. I'm not an engineer. The engineers engineer to work better.
Well, you ready to read some Instagram comments from some dickheads on Instagram?
Let's do it, man. I love dickheads on Instagram.
Yeah, as I say, usually our fans are pretty nice, but for some reason, like I talked about earlier, how people just like to be dickheads to you. We got a couple good ones.
There's some good ones. Hold on, let me.
You looking? Okay, yeah. So if you want to go through and read your favorite,
feel free to shoot the one you want,
and then we'll read some of our
nachos
favorites.
or ice cream. I see that one. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Let's see.
There's one from Taylor Smash, and it's that's his name, Taylor Smash, and it's asking, which host of Maximum Driftcast do you find more attractive, and which do you think most resembles Harambe?
Corey, I'm gonna have to throw you under the bus here.
Hey,
Hey.
Corey.
Go for it. Hit me.
We're gonna go Harambe with Corey.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And which one's the most
Sam,
attractive?
You're a cutie pie. Let's do
Thanks.
Sam. Because Paco, I don't really know what you look like. So
Oh,
I
man.
don't really have-
Well,
Paco looks like
because-
200 pounds of spaghetti.
a vivid description didn't hit you off? Or it didn't make sense there?
Well, wait till I see you at Irwindale, man. You're
Hugh
gonna
Jackman.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
fall in
He
love,
is
man.
a Latin lover.
Hugh Jackman has been curb stomped.
Awesome.
Got slapped in the face with a codfish.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Iron Dukey's got a good question. What
Uh-oh.
track
Oh,
is the
God.
hardest on cars?
Again.
Is he like a regular?
Yeah,
Iron Duke,
he
he
always
throws
has the
some
best
heat.
questions, and it's usually retarded ones and actual good questions. He's our number one commenter, I'd say.
He's a
Congrats.
50-50.
He gets an award probably.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, go for
What
it.
track is the hardest on cars? I mean, walls are hard on cars, but that's only if you drive like a dickhead. Which I
Which you
do,
have, yeah.
which I have been doing.
Okay.
Um,
That's part one of the question.
No, he didn't say which.
would you
He
rather
didn't say
do
which
a
track. He just said
cheese
walls
or
were
oral
hard.
sex
Oh.
with this you like?
Did you mean wall? Speedway was the hardest, or
I'd say wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has wall has a wall that you can't ride, which sucks. That's the only hard part about wall, but that's like Orlando's nice because you could just put your back bumper against the wall and just ride
it's a
the whole way
smooth
around.
surface, whereas
It's
wall,
just-
New Jersey, is just a cheese grater.
And it's also really steep. So
Yeah.
from kind of staying fast and so to stay up on the wall you have to loosen up the suspension so that it gets up there.
Yep.
But then when you come into the infield, if you want to stay fast, it has to be tight enough so that it doesn't push you back up onto the bank on like the second right-hand turn. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's a fine line of suspension tuning where you got to figure out what a medium, which sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say wall. Because if you make one mistake at wall two, your car's pretty much done.
All right, then part two of the question: would you rather give up cheese or oral sex for the rest of your life?
I think that's just a stupid question. Like who would choose that?
Who would give up
The
cheese?
wrong one.
is
Yeah,
what I
What
would
about
say.
cheese-covered oral sex?
Jesus, Corey. Well, I mean, are
Jesus.
you? Oh, you're
Corey,
saying
getting back to those nights in Vegas.
you're saying that Corey,
Yeah.
you're the one that's giving.
I'm the cheese pourer.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was his actual job in Vegas. He
It's
was
actually not clear here if it's giving or getting.
yeah. Well, Corey was a cabana boy
I
slash
was a part-time
cheese
cheese pourer.
in
Yep.
Vegas, and
Yeah, cheese
Iron
connoisseur.
Dookie, we need a part 3.
yep.
Yeah.
So let's get into some dickhead questions because I think we should address them because people shouldn't be as big a dickhead.
Yeah,
as
if
they
somebody, if
But do
somebody
you know
wanted
the-
to be a dickhead, this is
Oh,
your
right
opportunity
underneath
to be
it.
publicly called a dickhead.
are. All right, so
that's good.
94
Not you,
Hell
though.
Yoda says, when are you going to start winning events?
When I figure my shit out.
Good answer.
Nice.
SR20 Doug looks like he is a real dickhead. He said, how did you make it into Pro 1 while sucking so badly?
Jesus.
Because I didn't suck when I wasn't in Pro 1.
Good answer.
No.
Well, no, I kind of suck. But no.
You sucked
I'm gonna
less
go with-
than a bunch of other people.
I currently suck. Yeah, I suck less than I currently suck.
The correct
I'm gonna-
answer is that you send the right amount of edible arrangements to the judges
Yeah,
and
that's
the
right.
Formula Drift organizers.
Why do you think I'm so broke, man? I just paid all the debts from
The biggest edible arrangement ever.
No.
I'm just thinking, how awesome would it be to get some of the commenters to run one round in FD?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Who
no,
would you
because
rather give a ride along to? Taylor Swift or a turtle named Waffles? I don't understand that, but there's a
Taylor Swift for sure. She's
Who
a
is
babe.
it? Taylor Swift or who?
wait, a ride along like she.
That means
rides
when you let someone ride in your car pocket,
Oh.
you perv.
Sam, who would
Okay.
you give a ride to? Taylor Swift or Dead Harambe?
Well, are we talking
Hey,
monkey
you know what?
carcass or are we talking...
No, just
Let's
full
go to-
Dead
Hey, look at the
Harambe.
last one. This last one's good. Cuckoo for cookies, right?
Okay.
He says, and I mean, it seems like he's being legitimate. Honestly,
Are you on
not trying to
Facebook
be
or
so
Instagram?
negative.
Don't interrupt.
I don't see it.
He
Last
says,
one.
Last one.
Yeah,
I
he
gotta
says,
re-
honestly,
I gotta
not trying to be
refresh
so
it,
Negative,
excuse me.
but how does he suck so bad in FD and still manage to earn more points than other people that clearly drive better? It's a great question. That's a fantastic question because
Yep.
I'm leading only because of dedication. And we talked about that earlier with Helbrin. Helbrin has a better program. You know, driver for driver, we put us in the same car. We'll see what would happen.
Yeah.
But the only reason that I'm doing is just dedication. The
100%.
physical reason why I'm leading
Yep.
Helbrin in points is because he didn't show up to Canada. If he went up to Canada, he'd blow me out of the water.
Yeah.
I'm leading by 1 point because he didn't show up to Canada.
And he crashed
I-
in Seattle.
Dude, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's not the perfect driver. He ripped the shit out of Pro 2, but he's taken a heavy serving of Pro 1 reality as well, though.
Well, let's go back to this. Forsberg's leading the championship without winning one round.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's all dedication and just being consistent. Show up.
And
compete.
okay, so in Canada, I think I talked to Sam about Sam, you're in Canada, right?
Yep.
So when I landed in Canada, I had no team.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was yeah. My crew dude could not. There was a passport issue. Let's put it that way.
Oh my God.
This happens. No, he's not like an illegal or anything. He just there was a paperwork mix up.
Okay.
And he just couldn't.
Well, I was gonna say a lot of people couldn't make it because they had a DUI or they showed up with drugs or.
He's a stand-up citizen. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And then didn't have a spotter, didn't have anybody. My buddy drove up from New Jersey, and actually, when I was talking earlier about NCDA, he actually is one of my buddies from back in NCDA, and he lives in Jersey now. He drove up and was my spotter and also helped out with the car. But the stellar human was this local dude that just, I knew through a friend of a friend that I met in Sonoma that drove out to California last winter, and just some totally random dude that helped out like nobody's business, and it was
Really?
So literally you just went on Grindr, swipe right, and the first guy who got
He's
in
talking
there,
about a real nice moment here, and you have to ruin
Yeah,
it.
you had to drop a grinder on him.
I'm sorry, I was such a dickhead.
I did actually meet him on Grindr though.
Yeah.
There you go.
But to be fair, by the way, this podcast is brought to you by Grindr.
Hey, so you met this
you
met this guy out there and he busted his ass.
Huh?
You met that guy out there and he just busted his ass for you.
And it's a testament to the Canadians too, man. That scene out there is amazing. I mean, for anybody that's not gone to Canada, and whether it is around next year or not, I mean, I almost want
Those fans are weird, man.
Every penny
They're wild.
I own and many that I don't own yet on Canada, and it was worth it because it was that whole scene's badass up there.
Yeah, they're wild. Is the rest? JT Briggs asks, is the rest of your rear bumper hiding with his talent somewhere safe?
Oh my God.
That's savage.
Is this called the roast of Faruk Kugay?
Yeah. I don't know if I ever do
This season's been the roast of Faruk.
Well, do you know what's funny?
if I ever do a driver with you, I want to steal that joke because that's pretty good. No, but so before we get off topic, why are you running the half of the rear bumper? Because I think the Formula Derpington was making fun of people with half rears, and I've heard people bitch about that in the past. What's up with that bumper?
Dude, it's simple. It's just function, man. That's all it is.
What function is that?
It lets out more smoke, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but
No, it does. That's huge.
It's with the amount of smoke that you see collected in the rear of your bumper. Is even right now in my whole quarter panels and everything. It's wild how much smoke we make and how much can be caught in that rear bottom bumper section behind the tires. And then the second thing is that it doesn't fall off all the time.
Yeah.
It stays on. And I don't know. I mean, they sound like stupid reasons maybe, but
No, that's no reasons. You don't want to buy a new bumper every round too.
Let me put it this way: when I make my car a fun car next year, I'm going to put a full bumper on it.
Yeah.
So because I don't care about throwing smoke in people's face to blind them. So
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the other thing. What do you think about speed holes in the fenders like Forsberg's car has? Is that another technique that you would adopt?
Well, I mean, so you're looking at it two different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the two different types of drifting, and we got to make sure that one type of drifting, FD, we're talking about the top fuel of drifting. You're there to win. Just anything within the rule book that's legal and a gentleman do it. You know, if you got the reason that we did a half cut rear window is a couple of reasons. One, it lets a ton of smoke. If you look at the pictures of my car sideways, it just there's so much smoke coming off the top of my bumper, top of my trunk. It's just function, and speed holes in the fenders here. I mean, it looks horrible. I mean, it looks awful, but it's a function thing.
It depends how you.
Say Forsberg's car does it well.
Yeah, it depends how you make them.
I just wondered if that lets
yeah.
out smoke higher and earlier, and you don't actually want that. You'd rather funnel it out the rear. I don't know. I guess I never really thought about the strategy of
High pressure and low
intentionally
pressure.
blinding people.
Oh, dude, when somebody throws out a lot of smoke, you cannot see anything. And it's part of the battling.
Yeah, not even about blinding other people. It's throwing out big clouds of smoke. That gets you more points. That's more
And when you
style.
vape inside the cabin, it just sucks it right out.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
Yeah, that's Matt Field's thing. He does it well.
That Drift Kid says spaghetti fingers or marinara hair.
Ooh.
Choose.
I don't really know what that means. You mean the two?
Would you
different types of
rather
pasta?
Would you rather have spaghetti fingers or
Yeah.
marinara hair? And you can ask questions about this each scenario if you want, and I'll give you an appropriate answer to
we
help
have
you make your
hair.
decision.
Like, yeah, one good question I would ask with the marinara hair, is it a meat sauce or what type of base is it?
well, marinara by definition is like a tomato meat sauce, isn't it?
Or
Yeah.
just tomato
I'm gonna
sauce.
go.
Are you sure? Oh, hold on. Are you sure you're ready to make this answer, Faruk? Like, you don't have any questions about each scenario?
This is career.
Mm,
You
Like,
know,
so
yeah,
speak for
career
defining.
changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with spaghetti fingers. Just sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah, that
that's
is
true.
that is the
See,
correct
that's a
answer
good- that's
because
true.
with spaghetti fingers you can grip the steering wheel a lot better.
Yep. And you can slap people.
You can
like
slap
Sam.
people.
And if you're hungry, you can just like chew on your fingers.
Yeah, because it does grow back. And I was gonna say with marinara hair, one of the issues you have with that is while driving, it gets in your eyes.
And,
And,
then
yeah, your helmet doesn't fit right.
Your helmet is always sloshy.
and you get a lot of like meatball crumbs in your shoulders.
Meatball crumbs. That's right.
Yeah, marinara hair does not sound like a good situation. Yeah.
There you go.
Manutastic says, "Did you end up scoring that Asian chick after beer pong and Jenga at our shop?"
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's just, we're not gonna go there.
All right, cool. Do you have a girlfriend right now?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that he knows. That he knows.
If this was like if this wasn't like, we're just not gonna go there. We're just gonna move on.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I think the timing might be a little off there.
All right. Hub and Bearing Drift says, "Would you rather have to drive with tires that smoke and emit the smell of a stink bomb, or eat dinner with Miley Cyrus the rest of your life?"
Wow, these guys are so
These
professional.
guys are
man.
coming hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Corey.
What, oh.
Man. I don't know. That's a solid question.
Stink bomb tires or Miley Cyrus dinner? And there's pros and cons of each, I think.
Yeah, there's pros and cons of each. I'd go Miley Cyrus, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
I think
You know what I mean?
you would eat pretty well. I think that's a plus.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm not so sure about her
And dinners
company.
would probably be free.
Yeah. I'm not so
And
sure
you can
about
kind
her.
of zone out while you're eating. Like, you could totally just pay attention to the food,
Yeah.
right? And with the smoking tires, you'd be like, because, okay, with Miley Cyrus, it's something you don't enjoy anyways.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know where I'm going with that. But,
yeah, that's a good call. I would pick the same.
Yeah.
Do you think? I wonder how often each week you'd have wrecking meatballs.
Oh, nice zinger, Sam.
Thank you. Thanks for that little giggle, Faruk.
That's the man giggle for you.
Takumi Run
Fritzy balls.
Fritsuchio says, "What judge is the hardest to get off?" And I think by get off he means which judge is the hardest to impress. Andy. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
No,
'cause
okay,
everyone
I'll
has the
tell you
same
why.
answer. We
I'll
already
tell you
know.
why okay, so Andy's hard to impress because he is like super. I think Andy's probably like inside one of the craziest people in the whole FD staff.
Who is he
But
inside right now?
No, but he has to like keep himself like contained. Where everybody else kind of like. Well, I mean, okay, Brian or Ryan. If you talk to them, they'll give you a full blown, complete answer, and Andy will give you an answer, but it's like.
The answer is stabbing you in the kidney with a whittled down spork that he made over the toilet with a lighter.
Man, you guys got some LA beef down there, man. You got some K-Town beef.
Yep.
No, I just feel like he's harder to figure out, than the other two.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that 100%.
Yeah, but he's the only judge we haven't had on the show, and I think we need to.
He's more expensive than the other judges.
Yeah,
too,
he's
though.
more expensive for us to get on the show. Would you rather, 94 Hell Yoda says, would you rather fight 100 cat-sized Matt Fields or one Matt Field-sized cat?
That's been common lately.
That's a good question.
100.
Is this directed at me and Matt's beef, or is this just? Like
I didn't know you had beef. I thought, doesn't that guy transport your car? Or you guys?
No, we don't have beef. We have spaghetti.
Hey,
Oh,
damn.
God, that's so good.
Jeez.
No, me and Matt are
Pirates?
interesting friends.
Interesting friends? Oh.
Yeah, I think we respect each other professionally a lot for what we're both doing in the industry, but we come into conflict in different things. Fuck, I'm trying to make this super political and
Yeah,
it's hard
So
to
you
do.
like
just
you
let
like
it
Star
out.
Wars and he
Who
likes
cares?
Star
I'll tell you
Trek.
this. I tried to get Danny George to fight Matt Field once.
What? How did you try to get that
let me
up?
put it this way.
Yeah.
Matt Field's a good dude. He's a really good dude. It's just in public sometimes he
He's a
turns into a
shithead.
version of he's a shithead. He turns into a version of himself, which is not exactly likable. In person, like when I'm unloading, like he transports my car around. When I'm with him, just hanging out, or when we're just chilling, he's awesome. But at FD events, sometimes earlier this year, he's gotten this persona that I think he's maybe outgrown. I mean, congratulations in Texas. He drove his ass off, and I mean, he drove badass. He literally destroyed everybody. Like, there's no qualms about him winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he won.
And he's a badass driver. I mean, he's a really good driver. I think if he just figures out his head, he'll be unstoppable. He just has to. The only problem with Matt is his head, and I think he's. Hopefully, it looks like he's figuring it out, which is a good thing.
So this got weird.
What? Yeah, we got super serious.
No, that's fine. Like I said, I tried to get Danny George and Matt Field to fight in Atlanta one time.
Who are you betting on?
Well, I just wanted to see Danny get beat up. No, so me and Dustin would always go on Facebook and tag Matt and Danny in it saying, "Hey Matt, Danny said you're a fucking idiot. You should really think about." And so Matt and Danny would just go back and start an argument. But it was all fun. They knew that was just all fun. But that's our thing is we always try to get Danny and Matt to fight.
We staged a fight between Danny George and Rob Primo a few years ago.
Yeah,
that would be a solid fight, man. That's awesome.
It's on the Sabotage video, actually.
Yep. Danny would totally win. Danny would win that.
Danny subdued
he's
Primo.
He's a terror gnome. Terror gnome. He's a terrorist gnome. And Robert Primo is a large, gentle giant. So.
Yep.
What is the answer though? 100 cat-sized Matt Fields or one Matt Fields-sized cat?
Cat-sized Matt Field.
Go ahead and take a second.
Questions are so
right.
deep.
I'm gonna go with one Matt Field-sized cat.
I think that's the right
smart
decision. Yeah,
That's
I feel
the right
like
answer.
Matt is not that big.
Yeah, I feel like the cat would be. I could tame the cat. I could not tame 100 cat-sized Matt Fields.
You get your cat, Sam. When you get your cat
they
flute
start
finished,
vaping when we get lost or something.
Summons
like that,
them with their cat flute and just put them to sleep.
Yeah.
I think. This is actually a real question that is probably the only good real one on here. Is S13
Okay.
Luke says what is your normal maintenance routine between each round to form of the drift?
Oh, good question.
So that's actually
That guy's an
one of the
idiot.
biggest.
What a bad question.
Yeah, what a horrible question.
Yeah, such a hater.
Show's not about that kind of stuff. It sucks. But I mean, my maintenance routine sucks because we don't have time. With Pro 1, the events are they become 3 weeks apart because by the time the car gets anywhere and everything like that, you have very little time. And we had to pull off the head, and I had to have a valve job done after the last round. And this round, it's we don't actually know what's wrong with the motor yet. The motor's still down at Matt's. I work all kinds of crazy hours, so neither me or the mechanic have had time to get down there yet. And that's what this weekend is. The weekend coming up, I'm literally just going to be, elbows deep in the car and normal maintenance. I mean, just we have bolt checks that we do, and just a compression check. We do a compression check, a leak down, and just kind of see where the motor's life is. We pull all the fluids and inspect them, make sure that there's no particles in them or anything like that. Just kind of go through the whole car front to back and
wash it, clean the windshield.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure the one windshield wiper's working.
The air freshener.
Just look at the back end and be like, "Yep, it's fucked." So nothing to do about that.
Back end's still fucked up. Good. Do you replace body panels throughout the year? Or you just kind of get it fucked up and say screw it? That's
a moot point, bro. It's at this point. We replace enough to make it still look like a car.
Yeah.
And that's a fucked up car. It doesn't. I mean.
It's been
like I said earlier, it's a learning year for me. It's about getting through it and finishing off the year. You know what I mean? And the fact that we're leading in points for Rookie of the Year, if I win that, it would be awesome. But at the same time, kind of weird. You know what I mean? Because Helbrun's a badass dude, man. He's put everything. He lives in Peru, or he did live in Peru. He moved up here and he's put everything into this, and I put everything into this in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a different way.
But it
Hey,
doesn't
you
mean
win, you deserve it, dude.
Yeah,
Straight up.
it doesn't-
I'd say screw everybody else. If you get it, you get it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's
We'll
not
see.
like there was any crooked shit going on. It just simply is that
No,
you were
It's
the
how
pro,
the cards laid out.
you were the
That's
Pro
all.
2 guy that came out
If
on
we
top.
if I start driving better, I mean, I've been driving better the last 2 rounds. If I start driving better in Irwindale, then I'd feel proud of it. But if I drive like I did in Jersey,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna feel proud of it. Let's put it that way. So
Who's if you were in the identical car, would you say that you're a better driver than Helburn?
you can't ask questions like that.
I
man.
just fucking did, dude.
Just say yes.
I don't know, man. I'm not
Say yes.
that dude to say yes.
Well, your best friend Matt Field said on the show and in other
And that's
places.
why I'm telling you to say yes.
Your best friend Matt Field said maybe rightfully so. If you didn't believe that he could beat everyone out there, then maybe you shouldn't even be there. So I don't know. I think there's some truth behind that. That maybe not have an ego about it, if that's what you want to call that. But I think you got to think.
That's a different man. That's a different man. That's
Yeah.
so that's. Let me put it this way. That's winning through an illusion to yourself.
Yeah.
I've gotten to where I am through reality, and definitely you hype yourself up, and you have to believe in yourself enough to be able to win.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie to myself as well. You know what I mean? Like, do I have the skill to win? Absolutely. Any day of the week. Do I have the car and the program to win? Absolutely not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's.
I think it works different. Like I say, different strokes for different folks. To some people it works differently. Some people likes to pump themselves up. Some people likes about. Yeah.
Before Jersey, I kind of switched after Jersey, but I yell in the car, man. If you're anywhere near the starting line and you hear some screaming going on, that's coming from my car, man. Like, it's kind of a weird thing, but I work better under pressure.
Yeah, I thought that you hurt yourself in Irwindale last year when I was putting a camera in your car and you were screaming a bunch, but you were just really excited about your run, and I was too. It was a good run. That was when you tapped the wall. You tapped the wall just like a hair too hard. The old Corey Hosford Irwindale wall taps, where you hit it just enough to make the judges shun you, but if in any other unjudged climate, it would have been one of the coolest shits in the world.
Yeah, no, it's people work like you said, Paco. People work in different different moods and different ways, and I am definitely different than Matt.
Nice.
Both as a man and as a driver, and I think that's one of the beauties of our sport is that.
And a lover. Who's a more gratuitous lover? Would you say, you or Matt Field?
Well, it sounds like Faruk is, because he almost scored at playing beer pong.
He played beer pong with an Asian chick.
Jesus.
Once.
Getting me in trouble.
That never happened.
Yeah.
He didn't. He meant Frank, not Faruk.
It's an honest joke that we make on the show. Every guest, if Faruk's girlfriend's listening, every guest that comes on the show, we make a joke about beer pong and Asians. So you just
they're hand in hand.
They're hand in hand, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we didn't know is that Asian was Ken Gushi. Yeah. So, just so you guys know, just throwing it there.
Paco's got some fantasies that come out on the show.
You should have heard him on Ken Gushi's episode.
Oh man, I went all out.
He was practically in his mouth. It was, it was weird.
Paco talking like this.
It was very weird. All right, well, we're gonna go to bed now because it's past my bedtime. But I think it's been a very enlightening conversation with you, and I'm happy to hear that you're coming back next year. And honestly, you have probably the best attitude for anyone, for maybe almost anyone I've heard in FD. So congratulations on
you're the man, Faruk,
on sticking with it and not getting too down and saying you're gonna fucking come back. So that's wonderful.
And you guys are rad dudes, man. Thanks for doing the show. And if you guys are ever in NorCal, I've got a couch and an inflatable bed.
Oh,
hey, and guess
premium.
what? We're gonna see you at Irwindale, bud. So be ready. So hopefully, if you want to do a live interview,
are you guys all going to Irwindale?
Yeah, we got a booth. Dude, we got a booth out there, man. We're rolling. All the money we're making off of this show is going it's going right to the booth.
All the energy drink money.
All the energy drink money. Yeah.
And what's up with Pro 2 in Arizona? Is it going to be badass?
We'll be there too, man.
I won't be.
Yeah, it should be all right. It should be good. I saw the track. It's going to be fast. It's going to be really fast.
I did Vegas trip out there in like 14. Is it the same one that
they
did out there?
No. It's much different.
We're doing main course, right?
They're running main course.
And they're doing XDC entry,
Nope.
is it called?
Nope.
What are they doing?
Carousel.
Paco said it. I'm not saying it. Paco said it.
So way further back than the actual course we usually run?
Yeah, way further back.
Oh, damn. Okay,
so
it's going to be badass.
Yeah, it's going to be fast. So it'll be good.
Hooray!
Cool.
I can't wait to not see it.
Well, cool, Faruk. Well,
Awesome.
yeah,
Good
thanks.
talking, guys.
Thanks for the time, and I'm sure I'll be calling you this week asking more questions about how to set up my wife's fab.
Right on, Bo. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Have
All
a good
brother.
night.
We'll see
Have a
you.
good night.
Thank you.
You too.
Well, that guy's a real piece of shit.
Man, he did not have an ego, and he's not doing well.
You know what I want to do is it's tough to do it. It's tough to. I just want to be a hero real quick, and I want everyone to recognize how much courage it's going to take for me to say this. But Faruk didn't do very well in FD this year.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's bad at driving.
Yeah, man, you should watch his videos.
Yeah. One thing, sorry guys, I know that everyone on our comment section and all over the internet's like, Faruk is the best drifter in 2016. I'm going to go out and say it that he's the 22nd best drifter in 2016.
Facts, folks.
Facts, folks. No, honestly, that guy's a very nice guy, and I did not expect that level of a headed dude to be in the professional drifting. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he.
It's a good sport. That's very important. I think that's very important.
Well, I don't think these people realize what a rude awakening it is to step into Pro 1. Like, it's a life changer.
One of the things that, based on the comments that we get that just got today, like even a lot of the people who listens to our show, they're being kind of rough, but they don't understand.
Dude, I've got made fun of so many times.
Yeah,
I got the same exact thing Faruk got, and
they can make all the fun they want about everybody, but you have to look at the points. You have to look at the, like he was saying, after all, he's still 1 point ahead for Rookie of the Year. What is that saying that everybody coming from Pro 2 is on a way lower level than the pro people? Sure. That doesn't mean they suck. They just, they don't understand that how much of a difference there is from coming from one series to another.
Right.
Where back in the day, there was so many drivers that wouldn't even make top 32.
Like Corey.
Yeah,
Yep.
like Corey. That it would,
I was number 33 all year.
all the time.
Besides like
and
5
so
times.
there was
And
so
you're the
many-
reason why Forsberg lost the championship that year. Because
Yeah.
if you would have qualified 32nd.
I blame that one on the judges, not me, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bub, you're out.
Sorry,
So-
Bubber.
But yeah, so like it'll be, like the criticism on the people who weren't making top 32 wasn't as harsh as the criticism on the drivers of the 34, 33 to 30 what 36.
Yep.
Yeah, just because there's less drivers, it's just like a more concentrated attack. So it's I think that's something that needs to be taken into account. And it's like Corey and I were talking about the other day. Like, what do you think it's more important? A driver? Well, not more important, but what has more merit? Drivers who've been running Pro 2, who's been running Pro for years but never seen a podium? Or a driver who's been at Pro 2 and has podiums and has trophies and moved up onto Pro? And even if he went back, you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean, what has more merit?
Well, maybe if Corey could stop
No,
because
no,
we're just talking about this.
Go on.
I said that
No, I know you said.
there's a lot of drivers who are on Pro 1, on Pro
Mm-hmm.
Series, but they've been driving for 10 years, and they have never seen a single
Yeah,
podium.
but what's your question? What is more?
It's not a question. It's
It's an observation.
It's-
You're saying
yeah,
that
it's an
those guys are chumps.
no. What I'm saying is like a lot of drivers that couldn't make couldn't make enough points on Pro. They went down to Pro 2.
Yep.
And a lot of them were like, well, this is pointless. I'm gonna quit.
Like Corey
Hello, Danny.
Duh.
and Corey.
But I think there's a lot of merit on being on Pro 2 and winning Pro 2 and
yeah.
and getting trophies.
I really don't think it matters what series you run.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
I mean,
Corey doesn't even run and he's got sponsors.
I think it has
Ah.
at a certain point, it has more merit to go down in a series, dominate it, and then go back to a series that you've been kind of like not really doing good.
Yeah, but like
your
Faruk
entire career,
says
you know what I'm
he'd
saying?
rather be in Pro 1. He'd rather do the Pro 1 grind because he says you're not challenging yourself. If
Oh,
you're
sink or swim.
if you're not-
100%.
if you're seal clubbing, as like to call the term, let's say that you're at the top of Pro 2. Let's say Faruk were to go to Pro 2. I think that he would stomp all those kids this year.
Yeah, and
So that wouldn't teach him as much as a driver. Maybe it'd be good to learn on his car a little bit more. But if you take Faruk's runs that he's done this year against a lot of the Pro 2 runs, then
He would do very well.
Yep. And he would rather not do that because just
He
like
doesn't
when,
want a club
well, it's
seal.
just like when Corey left FD, he wanted to be in Pro 1 because he more or less said the same thing. Because you were supposed to be in Pro 2, but you had more or less said, I think to me at the time, that you didn't want to drive in Pro 2 because you tasted Pro 1 and you wanted to compete at that level.
Yeah, well, I did 1 year of Pro-Am, and then I got my license just that first year, coincidentally. And I was like, yeah, I can go back and do Pro-Am again, but it's like I can run Pro-Am for 10 years, and you're not going to be able to be successful in Pro 1 because it's such a different world. So I think the sooner you get in it, the better chance you are to learn it and adapt to it.
There you go.
Faruk sent me a text message about some Asian chicken.
What?
Looks like Asian chicken. Canada.
Let me see.
I think we better call him back.
I think he wrote that with a pen, and
Yep.
we're using the new iPhone app where you can actually draw pictures, and I think Faruk didn't know that, so he had to write a pen.
That's what I like
paper.
about that guy. He's kind of a pen and paper type of guy.
Yep, he's brilliant.
Baco, can I go to bed now?
Nope. You
Right.
just have a lot of editing to do.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think that it's time for us to hit the old dusted road. Isn't that how you say, Paco?
No.
All right.
How do you say it?
Check Paco out on the internet. Corey.
At internet, at Corey Hosford and at Street Standard.
And Sam.
At Drift Idiot and at Sam Nalvin.
And Sam Blaubin.
And YouTube. Check out Sam on YouTube.
At pewdiepie.org.
And YouTubeDaddy.com.
TubeDaddy.org. Do you have anything else, Paco? I feel like you're not done talking. I can just tell by looking at your face.
No, I think we're good for the day.
2 hours of this is enough, right?
Yeah.
You tired?
No.
Do you want a snack?
I would love a snack. I'm definitely hungry.
I used to bring you a bag of Cheerios for every show, but then this ended up over the floor.
That and Goldfish.
Yeah, Cheerio Ziploc and Goldfish Ziploc, and it's ended up on the floor.